Yeah, you got everyone.
And good evening, everyone, as we jump into it first thing and finally get our technical problems straightened out. Welcome to Proficiency Bonus, where the technical difficulties follow you every week.
And the points don't matter.
Yes, the points don't matter. I am Matthew. Usually I like to say your most benevolent DM. I'm sure at least one of my players may question that right now, but hey. Before we jump into what happened last time, a couple of quick shouts we'd like to give out. Thank you very much to Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, Streamlabs, all the support they give to small streamers like us. Big shout out to our friends from tomorrow night's stream, Tabletop Legends, who went live last week. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, make sure to check them out tomorrow. It was an absolute hoot watching their stream last week. And on top of that, we have found a new friend, so to speak, thanks to Matt and his group over Tabletop Legends, a charity called the Zephyr Foundation that does a lot of work for autism awareness in the local area.
Sorry, that's my phone.
Oh, no worries. Say hello to Farrah's phone, everybody. So one of the big things they did is they set themselves a goal for bits raised to donate money to this charity. As you may have heard Michael mention on Friday, we're jumping on board with this, and any bits donated throughout this month are going to go straight into that charity. So make sure if you've got a couple of bits left in your bucket, kick them over. It's for a great cause to work with the Zephyr Foundation and their autism awareness. And yes, I can see him, both of you. Maddie, if you want to do me a favor, try reconnecting. We got a couple of people who can't see you. Hopefully I don't lose you, but we'll keep playing around with our technical difficulties because, hey, it's what we do here at Proficiency Bonus. While Maddie's trying to reconnect and see if everybody can see him.
Any luck?
We'll jump in.
Not yet.
I got you right back, but we may have to run with just the with you guys missing them, then we'll try it again some more at our break time.
Okay.
But as we jump into what happened last time, our group had been making their way through the Tomb of the Nine Gods. They found a rather hideous looking stone skull doorway. Well, I should say they managed to make their way through some points. Found a magic ring inside a sarcophagus they opened, and Devaney breathed deep of this dusty bone cloud that erupted when she grabbed the ring. They traveled around, didn't really have too much of an issue moving around the tomb. Found a spinning fan blade that Devaney wasn't feeling, trying to go through. So went back to try going through this skull door that they had found. A couple of our party members made it through without a problem. Devaney had the wonderful idea of using some of her climber's spikes to sort of wedge the jaw open. Paddle and Solana made it through. As they made it through, you could hear the crunch as the climber spikes finally gave way under the massive force of this jaw, and the mouth clamped shut with Devaney on the other side. As she looked through, and with a brief flourish of her hand, proceeded to try to cast Misty Step. The couple of our party members who were standing on the other side of the skull watched her vanish. And unlike they had seen their friend Quen do many a time before, she didn't reappear. Devaney, on the other hand, found herself in a room covered in a thick layer of decaying and disjointed and dismembered bodies.
This is the grossest room ever.
As she's looking around the room, she realizes they're not all wearing, armor and shields and swords. These don't look like adventurers. These are just people.
I'm very displeased.
No real idea how they get in here, what they're doing here. But as she proceeded to poke around, eventually the room's resident, a rather nasty Odiug, decided to pop its tentacled hide out and pursue her. Through a very fierce battle, with both the Odu bleeding profusely, Devaney currently grappled in one of its tentacles, bleeding, beaten after being slammed into the wall repeatedly. Devaney, with a last flare of strength, reaches up with her right arm, shoves it up the stone sculpture's nostril, grabs hold of a lever, and rips down. And as the eyes on the stone sculpture flash red, that's where our story continues today. Whoa.
Screaming.
As to start out, I'm going to ask our 3 other players, go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Ah!
Oh no.
Okay, instantly angry.
As things are happening now. And we're going to jump back in and get to what's going on with Devaney, because it is still technically her initiative count, as she has just used her action. But we want to see where the rest of you fall. Okay, do me a favor, Maddie and Para, if you guys can click on your tokens and re-roll your initiative.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay.
You're going to use the initiative you rolled. I just need the token so we can put you on there. Ooh, holy Sparta. Oh, and because I'm a butthead, I forgot to mention, as you can see, Linen, or Espartha's picture is missing off our overlay this evening. Linen's not feeling great, so won't be joining us, so Espartha will be on roleplay minimal. But, okay, so let's see, here's we had... Mara had an 18 initially, Solaren had a 20. Okay, so now we're going to reorganize these and jump ourselves back down to Devaney. So Devaney, as you've reached up and pulled this lever, immediately as the eyes flash red, your vision fades.
Oh.
The room is gone. And as you feel this disjointed pulling and wrenching across your entire body, you find yourself, as vision returns, landing in front of another stone face with a black gaping maw staring at you in the Odiug. And as the two of you land on the ground, you hear a click and immediately start to hear flying through the air.
Oh, that's not good.
As I'm going to roll these all and add these after the fact. Okay. So you were actually fine.
Oh,
The-
great!
As you hear these little pinhole darts flying through the air as the Odiug being transported into this hallway has landed on a pressure plate that you did not know was there, as you had just flown over it on your journey through here. Now, as for our friend there, where did I put his? There we are. Just gotta check his. And those are both going to hit him.
Oh no.
Not. Let me double check this real quick here, because I want to just make sure of something. Okay, do me a favor, Devaney, I'm going to have you roll this. Okay. Roll. Oh, wait, no, hold on, let me click one more thing here, because it's going to change what you got to roll. Okay. Roll 2d4. It is still on its feet. Roll 4d6. As the darts slam into this creature from the trap, you find yourself getting dropped to the ground.
Wet drop sound.
As the Odiug is no more. As you land on the ground, you've got your movement and you've got a bonus action left on your turn.
Well, for my bonus action, I would like to use Second Wind to gain some hit points back.
Oh, okay.
And I would like to start heading in the direction of my friends, where I think they still might be. I have no idea how long this has been since it's just been such a blur, so...
Yeah, from Devaney, no, you think it hasn't even really been a minute yet.
Okay.
Oh boy.
It's literally, this has all happened in probably the course of about 20 to 20, like 18 to 24 seconds. So I don't think you had more than, I think it was 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah, something like that.
So it hasn't even been a minute yet.
Yeah, I did have some time exploring before the fight started, but yeah, it hasn't been...
Yeah, but it wasn't long. You circled around the room once. Figure that's we'll call that 2 rounds because it's not a huge room. Then another 4. So yeah, we'll say it's been about a minute that you've been missing to your.
Alright, so I can head there and then I'll roll for more hit points.
So as you get there, and as you're running out, you see an individual standing at the top of the stairs to the north of you.
Okay.
He's got a strange mask on his face, looking at you with a thoughtful expression. Well. After we went through all this work perfecting these traps, and you attempt to use magic to skip through them when I'm watching you. That just will not work. Master Asirak has put too much effort into this tomb to really have you people flitting about wherever.
Devin is just sort of like squinting at it like, what? Who are you?
You may call me Withers. I am, I suppose, the architect. Be warned, I pulled you once. Play fair, or I may do it again. And with that, you watch as his hand reaches up and he grabs what looks to be an amulet around his neck. And with a puff of smoke is gone.
Alright. Devin just sort of is stunned, like, what? What?
And as he vanishes, you guys are actually out of initiative because you guys all rolled outside of where he was going. So, it made our party roll for nothing, unfortunately, but you guys are now in the clear. So what we will do is Devaney has started making her way back to where she last remembers seeing her friends. And having that strange occurrence, we're going to jump over to the rest of our party, who Solarin was currently basically, I'll say almost browbeaten a little bit by Espartha to lead the path down this stairwell. As it seems Solana is still sort of glancing at that snake-carved staff that Solarin sort of dropped back in the sarcophagus.
I'm gonna take that.
So as you go over and look in again, you see basically the same layout as what brain freeze, what Solaren had seen. But where you weren't with us, inside the sarcophagus, you see that there is a bundle of cloth wrapped around some sort of a body. It's obviously not human. As you look at it, you can see that there is a staff, a very light-colored wood. Almost, the best way to describe it is almost like a serpentine bend to the wood, and the top of it is just carved in an ornate snake's head. As you reach in and pick up the staff and start looking at it immediately upon you grasping it, the mouth starts exuding this thick green billowing smoke that immediately starts wrapping around your arm, up your shoulder, around your neck, and immediately in your ear you hear, "Let me help you. I promise I'll be good."
Well, in that case, I see no reason to not trust you because we don't insight check on this channel. So, sure.
Da-da-da.
Alrighty then.
You can help us all you want.
Okay, so Solana is just agreeing to accept the help. So let me find Solana in here. Of course,
I wonder if it's a
everything I
demon. I
pull.
probably should have asked if it was a demon. Oh well. Not gonna retcon.
Okay, let's see.
So this happened to Solaren and we like kind of noped out of there and I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah, precisely. So,
Actually, green
Yeah.
smoke snake.
Let me say
I
nice
hope you know what
drawing.
you're doing taking that, Solana.
I never know what I'm doing, don't worry.
It's worked out for you before.
That is literally the truth of this.
I never know when
so
I
that is
don't know.
you.
when I'm
Okay,
Maybe I make the wrong choice.
so Solana,
it's a-
this is. Oop, no, not show everybody.
Oh.
This is for Solana's eyes only. You now have a new thing in your journal.
My journal. Oh, my journal. Oh dear. I mean, oh dear.
And
Oh!
oh. Ooh, ooh.
I know, it's so cool.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So as Solana's picked this up, and you now have this voice that just, "Oh, we will work well together."
I think so.
So what are you guys doing as unbeknown? Actually, do me a favor. All of you go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh.
Just see if you would have heard the sort of ruckus that it's just going on. Okay. So Paddle and Solana, which is sort of fitting, you two being the last ones in the actual room. You both heard what sounded like a pretty loud thud a couple of seconds ago, coming from back through the skull face door that you.
Would we know that's where Devanite
Oh, of
was
course.
last seen?
So
you watched her.
you
poof.
watched her disappear. So you were on one side of the skull and sort of glancing through the couple of spots in the teeth, and you watched her vanish from over there. And now you've just heard a thud, but it
From that
reminds you somewhat of when you guys were playing, when you were juggling the Froghemoth.
Oh.
It's a massive like boom. You know something big just hit the ground, and it sounds like it was a little ways away.
Should we avoid that or go see what it is? Maybe it's Devaney. Devaney has a lot of armor on. She can make so.
Devaney's not that big.
I don't know if she's gonna sound that huge.
She's got a lot of weapons.
It sounds like a
Like an
T-Rex. Not like... I mean... the state of that thing... The skull thing. I don't know. I don't want a chance going through that thing a whole bunch more times.
Do we call her name at least so she knows where we are? In case it's her? Or do you think that'd be just drawing attention from a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I have no idea.
Devaney! Devaney! Devaney?
Am I close enough at this point?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll be... Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
We were so worried for 48 seconds where you were.
Well, Misty stepping's a bad idea. As you can see, Devaney's now covered in blood again.
Again.
Do you need like healing? Are you okay?
That would be nice.
Okay, here, I got a poultice if you want one.
as you walk up, Devaney, you see the eyes are lit on the skull again, and the mouth is open.
Okay, I will attempt to slither through, maybe push the glaive through a little bit before me so it doesn't get caught. And
Easy enough for you to
Slither
run right through.
If I give her my organic poultice, does she roll or do I roll?
It's up to the two of you. Either person can.
You can roll.
Alright,
Here,
what is
it's
it?
my last organic health poultice. I got another one that I don't know what it does, but here's my health one of it.
2d4 plus 4. Digitio, if you took a drink every time Devaney is covered in blood, you'd be drunk. You'd be hospitalized. I won't even say drunk. Wow, nice roll.
yeah, not bad.
Do you feel a little better?
Devaney has now popped her way into the room with you. Devaney, the first thing you notice is that there is a floating skull in a crystal box.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting you weren't here last week. Yeah, it's currently just sort of floating around. It looks somewhat calm. Solana, you would remember from last time being so close to the door as they were talking, is it seemed like Espartha and Solaren were trying to talk with it.
Oh.
And hearing Espartha, it sounded like she was trying to calm down a child.
Oh. God, it's creepy. I can speak under common if it's a skull. Hello, skull.
Solana, I
Yes.
was hearing them talk to it before,
Oh.
and it seemed good. That it wasn't. It seemed like it. I don't know what they were talking about, but it seemed good.
Okay,
So
I'll
maybe
just...
just
leave it alone.
let it be.
Okay, I will let it be. I will go next in line after Paddle in this line of people in this hallway.
So, Solaren, as you've been up there, you didn't really hear anything at first, but you do notice that Devaney has finally shown up and is now
Yeah,
coming
are you
back in the
okay?
line.
What happened?
Don't Misty step.
Don't miss the
Just
step. Okay.
don't.
I can't, so...
Just don't. I'll,
Okay.
maybe if we find a spot to rest, I'll tell you about it. But just don't.
Okay.
Okay, so the group of you have been reunited. As was mentioned last time, I think your plan was to head down the stairs into the area in front of you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let us...
The day is
I mean,
yours.
I guess it's the only other door here, so.
There's one other door, and it's open at the moment, if anyone cares to go back.
I would like to go back.
Back through the skull door?
No, to... Anzuru.
I'm sure you might be able to find your way back through.
Yeah. Maybe.
Although where Devaney hasn't told you what she's run into, seeing that giant corpse of a monstrosity blocking the entranceway.
Oh, yeah. What was that thud? Was that you?
Well, sort of. I was part of it, I guess, but not. There were. No, I'll just tell you about it later.
So vague. Okay.
Once I, stop bleeding.
Oh, you're still bleeding. Okay, I can heal you some more.
It's okay. Just just keep.
Okay. Let me know. I got your back. Because I'm behind you.
So who has taken point on your journey?
I thought Slaren was
Well.
belittled into taking.
Well, Slaren was sort of pushed to that task by Aspartha.
So,
I'll do it.
Solaren,
I can do it. I'll go first.
Okay.
I got good perception.
yeah, Solaren, has no argument against that. So,
Okay. Well, you're a wuss, but I'm gonna go first.
Be my guest.
I'm going to.
So as you start going forward, you come down. There's a stairwell that dips down into looks to be a dark, sort of natural cave tunnel, with
Okay.
looks to have a little bit of water. Doesn't look to be more than a foot or two deep, but it is slowly running to the right.
Okay. Do you want me to do water walking, guys, or are you okay in like a foot of water?
If it's
Yeah.
not that deep, we can just walk in it.
Yeah, but
yeah,
do you think
it
it'll
might be
be
noisy.
difficult? Yeah, it might be noisy. That's true. Hold on.
I got 2
fast-
more feet on me. I'll still be above water.
How
you
fast
are
is the water?
a little on the short side, so maybe we
Water
should
flowing.
do this water walking ritual. I will cast water walk as a ritual.
Okay. Easy enough. You take 10 minutes, cast your ritual, and you now all have the ability to walk on water.
All right. So my friend Jesus taught me that trick. So now we're gonna go.
Oof.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry. I might have had some beer. I'm gonna walk out.
Well, you had to have a beard. Devonay's covered in blood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are out. Now, this area is very dark. Even with all of you having dark vision, it is very difficult to see down here.
It sure is.
But you can tell that the water is very slowly moving to the right.
Okay. So
Should
which
I
way do we
make-
want to go?
Should I make
the
a
sword.
light, or do you rather walk in the dark?
I think we should walk in the dark in case like bats or something come down. Or what do you
Okay.
think?
Okay.
Just let me know if you need light.
Okay. Do you want to go towards the source of the water or towards the end of the water?
Let's go to the source.
I will slip over here and step up here.
Okay. So as you guys continue along, following that path here, let me just check something out. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Solana.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, you're the one taking point here.
Oh, damn.
Okay, give me a second.
Uh-oh. I can't see what it is, but I
Good,
don't like that
Dad.
sound.
It's a nat 1 and a nat 20,
Yeah.
but in the wrong order that you would like them to be.
Okay. So you guys end up walking as Solana is leading you back along these winding paths. And I am going to grab... Oh, no. What? Stupid thing. Okay, give me a sec. Why are you
Do you
all
want me to
highlighted?
continue going, or are you gonna do something?
No, I'm going to just grab all of you.
Oh,
With
okay.
that check, you are...
Yeah, that check. is-
Really, you could walk into a giant black hole and not notice it.
It's a
We're
9.
going to...
It's dark,
Whee!
okay? It's easy to miss a black hole in the dark.
Yeah, that's true. Or sphere of annihilation.
Okay, so then... Okay, so we're just going to drop you guys in some semblance of order here. There we go.
Okay, I
So,
see.
as you guys are circling around and just Solana's leading you through these different bobs and weaves through this tunnel again, as you're getting further away from where you were, you notice the speed of the water seems to be slowing down more. And all of a sudden, as Solana turns a corner, and Solana, almost immediately as you walk into this area, and I am rolling the map instead of what I'm trying to scroll, immediately you start seeing that there is just this rank, foul smell that you have just walked face first into. You can't, it's getting darker. You, actually, I should mention, well, actually, yeah, you wouldn't have even noticed that. Yeah, as you've walked in, you're walking 5-10 feet into this thing, and it smells like just rotting eggs. Something foul in this area.
Ooh, this isn't
But
good.
you really can't see if there's something on the ground or something going on that's doing it.
Should we continue? I think I can see a staircase, or we can go back.
Solana, what's wrong?
It really stinks. It's very smelly. It's like rotten, something. Rotten eggs, rotten
Well,
food.
that might be me,
Okay. Well, in that case, we should continue
But-
further.
but I'm starting to smell it too.
Oh.
Maybe it's not me.
Okay. Well, there's a stairwell, or we can continue through this noxious liquid, or we can turn backwards.
Well, it didn't take us that long to get here. Maybe we could go check out the other direction and... Or if you want, we could go this way, but...
Alright, well,
Maybe
who wants
we
to
should
take the
just-
stairwell, and who wants to go back the other way?
I kind of want to go back. It's
Okay. Who wants to lead?
safer.
Because I'm not doing so well. Paddle, do you want to try leading?
I mean, I'm usually not the best in the front, but if you guys are just like,
We're just, like, looking around and not seeing anything, so yeah, whatever.
alright, fine.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check on your trek back to your,
where we started.
well, to where you're starting if you guys are going past there.
Probably.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Ugh.
Paddle
You
manages
had
to...
advantage.
I have a +6.
I got a +8.
Okay, as you guys are just... Don't mind me as you're vanishing in and out of walls here. As the, dragging you back to... Eventually... Paddle manages to get you guys right back to where you were, and I have no idea what order you were in. I just keep sticking Esparta somewhere in the middle or near the end where Gwen's not here, so... Paddle, you managed to get them right back. Again, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. It looks like you're in, like, this water has been running through here for years upon years upon years, and it's just carved out this path.
I think he's more enamored in how he can actually, like, walk on top of water right now, because that hasn't happened. Oh, dude.
So you're back. You just passed the stairway, and you've got a little ways in front of you.
Okay, well, you're okay leading still?
Sure, why not?
Cool. Can I have a quick paddle backstory since I missed that?
Paddle backstory?
Yeah. Like, what's your backstory? Like, how did we meet you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You weren't here for that either, because you were.
No.
I hid behind a very weakened, bloody Devaney and Snake Dude, and I was like, well, between you and the hordes of whatevers, I think I have a better chance of defeating you guys, so I just hid behind them.
Okay.
And then through some somewhat terse conversation, it was decided that, I guess sure, why not?
Good, we like having you along.
Oh, we'll see how long I last.
Devaney did give the warning about people not lasting very long in our
That's
area.
true too, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
If you give you a nickname,
alright.
it's usually a bad idea. Like Rebel Scholar or Mushu or Mushi.
Mushery.
Any-
Any. Yeah.
Guys, how,
Oh,
that's a bit of a dip down.
Yeah, how far is
Oh.
that?
From where you are, it's too dark to see.
Oh.
You'd have to get closer and look.
I have 90 feet dark vision. Okay.
From where you are, you can't see.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, well, so looking into the room from where you are, you can see, and because again, even with dark vision, this area is pitch black. There are no
Okay.
lights in here at all. So even with your dark vision, it's very dim lighting to you. As you get closer, you can see that there is what looks to be a very ornately carved chest sitting about 20-30 feet across the way from you. But as you get a little closer and sort of look, you can see the water is running and dropping down in what appears to be best way I can describe it is a waterfall, but without the force that one typically associates with it. It's just sort of running and dripping down, sort of like an overfilled sink or tub.
Oh, so it's not like a 50-foot drop.
As you look down, you don't see the end.
Oh, so it
But
might be
it's not.
different, but
You're
but it's just
watching-
trickling.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Are there any loose stones around that Solaren can find, like on the shores?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, this looks like a bit of a jump. Oh,
Nope, but there's a goblin and a couple of other people in your party.
Why
We briefly considered no.
can't we roll perception tonight?
get it over with quickly.
As you're looking, you can see this underground river just plunging off the side down into a chasm. As you, Paddle, you and Devaney would notice this being the closest. As you get closer to it, you can feel the air almost seems to be swirling up from this hole every couple of seconds, and it's a cold, biting air. Where you feel it come up and then die down, and then once more, almost as if some massive creature was breathing on you.
Lovely.
And again, through the darkness and the gloom in this area, you can see that ornate chest sitting there.
Does anyone want it? I can make you fly over there. If you really, really
Should
want it.
we really be opening chests?
Why not? It might be good.
It also might be a trap.
I think
I don't
like
know what you're talking about.
I
Everything,
mean, you
100%
open the
of
lid
this
and
place
the rock
is,
falls
though.
on you.
but you'd be okay. So we're just gonna leave the ornate treasure chest. Would I leave the ornate treasure chest?
I'll cast Eldritch Sight and see if I can detect any magic coming from the chest.
Okay,
Good idea.
Huh. I have to look up and I have to actually check what is in it to see
Okay.
what you see. Because
It's awesome.
off the top of my head, I has no clue. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay. That is not helpful, so let me do this then. When you look at it, you are seeing the entire chest seems to radiate transmutation.
That's like mimic stuff, right? Like a mimic? Like
No
we
idea.
shouldn't touch it? I'm asking Devaney.
Nay doesn't know what Solaren just found out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Fair enough.
So the chest, I can detect magic on the chest, and it seems to be transmutation magic.
As in the chest has turned into something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or when you touch
Possibly.
it, you turn into something?
Or maybe there's something in the chest that lets you turn into something. That'd be cool, like an eagle.
But is it the whole chest or something inside the chest?
All I can detect is the whole chest. I'm not sure what's inside or if it's what's
I'm
inside
gonna shoot the chest with my arrow, my bow and arrow.
Okay,
I'm
go ahead
gonna
and make an
duck.
attack roll.
Where? People keep saying that. Where is the?
Okay, let's see here. Okay.
Oh, I forgot to use my sword.
Okay, so that is going to hit. So go ahead and roll damage. Okay, the arrow slams into the side of the chest.
Any reaction from said chest?
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay, and we're sure we don't want this thing inside the chest.
Well,
Or the chest.
so the chest didn't. The chest is remained the same. So whatever the magic is coming off of is what's inside it.
Are you sure? I mean,
I think
some chests.
possibly.
You know, it might be a magic chest, and instead of something inside it, the chest itself might be magic.
Maybe.
I just shot it. So
Yeah,
if there was
it
something
might have
angry,
it might have
might be-
changed when the arrow hit it if it were, but
I really don't think we should just leave it alone. But we do need to decide whether we're gonna go down here or go all the way back to what smelled bad. And
I vote
Yeah.
smelly
That
'cause
way.
I don't know where this leads.
and we're not even sure how we could get back up from in the waterfall to get to the
Oh,
chest.
well, we could fly.
We could fly.
And keep in mind,
If you
none
wanna-
of you can see the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not go somewhere where we can see the bottom. Let's go to the.
We could
smelly
drop a gold
staircase.
piece in and try
Yeah, I
and
mean,
sense
I
how
have
deep it
a-
is.
copper piece and
Yeah.
Let's do a copper
a
piece
light
and light.
spill,
Jeez,
but I don't know.
gold piece. You guys are lousy with this stuff, huh?
Actually, we kind of
Money is
are.
no object to me.
But I'm not sure we should, let people know at the bottom that we're here.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't think
So
about
smelly
that.
staircase. I vote.
Well, why don't I just... Can I look for a stone?
Sure.
Okay.
But aren't you alerting people that we're here then? We're doing this.
I mean, the odd stone falling off of the waterfall, I don't think that'd make much of a...
That's true. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's not
copper
cast light on it though.
piece.
Oh.
Well, we won't be able to see it once it
You
falls.
do manage to find a decent, golf ball sized rock.
I throw that thing.
Just throwing it down.
Yeah.
Everybody quiet.
Let's see here. So it
See if we
falls.
can hear it hit the bottom.
A couple of seconds goes by. And very, very faintly in the distance you hear plop of something hitting water.
So it ends in water.
Oh, that makes sense. There's a water pour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's water, but I don't know how deep it is and if there's other stuff in there.
Well, we're on top of it now.
Did everybody hear the splash?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy enough as you all watch Paddle sort of pick up the stone. I think everyone would sort of be going.
Yeah.
Everyone gets real quiet for a couple of seconds. And again, it's even with all of you sort of holding your breath and listening, there's water rushing by off the side. So listening in, you have to really sort of strain and eventually you hear just a very faint, it's like dropping a penny off a bridge and trying to hear it hit the water.
Oh.
You hear it, but it's just infinitesimally small.
Well, I say if we go this way down the waterfall, we go look at that chest thing. But otherwise, we should go to the stinky staircase.
Well, would we be flying across if we did that?
Yes.
And is that
The ledge
would
isn't
you have to
that
use a
big.
spell slot
Maybe
for that, or
only
I
one or
would have
two
to
of
use a
it.
spell slot.
is that worth it?
Eh, I
Well,
don't think
I mean, if we're flying down there anyway, I would say yes. But
So we're not really able to tell by listening for the splash how deep it was.
No.
Like it's really okay.
You think we would be able to
Even
get
with that, you
down
know it ends in water, but you don't even know how far down it is.
Yeah. So
You know it can't be thousands of feet because you heard something,
mhm.
and it wasn't a huge length of time, but likewise, you know it's not a 10, 20-foot drop.
Yeah, it'll
Do you
still
think-
hurt.
Solana, how long does fly last? Do you think we could fly to the bottom? It seemed pretty
an hour.
deep. Oh yeah, then we could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with that.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Pixies, and then I'm gonna cast Fly on everyone.
Oh, okay. So that gives you 8 pixies, so 5 of them have burnt their fly. Make sure you keep record of that.
Terrifying.
Okay, so once more, the group of you are now... Find yourself flying again.
I'm gonna go poke the chest.
Okay.
Don't poke the chest. Leave it alone. It's.
So as Solana's flying over and you want... huh?
I'm gonna check it for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and make your investigation check.
Yeah, I don't do those well. Oh, look.
Okay, so
A rock's gonna fall on you, Solana. Don't touch it.
It'll be fine.
rocks fall, everybody dies.
Yeah.
So as Solana's flying over and starting to look at the chest, what are the rest of you doing?
Figuring out how this works.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Watching Solana and I don't know, being ready for anything.
Yeah, Solarin's hesitant to approach that chest, so he's staying on this side of the chasm.
Oh,
now.
okay.
All it was is. It's just
Spartha's
chest
gonna
with
be
something
right
cool
up sort of in
inside.
between you guys.
I bet it's something cool. And you
How do
don't
I
get
go
it.
down? How does this work?
So
Come on.
as you guys are sitting there and watching, sort of Paddle's doing this weird sort of like ass over tea
Duck.
kettle spinning, sort of trying to get this figured out. Solana, you're flying over, and again, as you get closer, it becomes a little easier for you to make out some of the detail on this chest. The sides seem to be either highly polished brass or gold fittings on the side of it. It is a beautifully crafted chest. And as you reach out and start, touching and looking at the keyhole to see if there's any sort of a trap on it, you realize you can't move your hands, as you're now stuck to the front of the chest.
Carpets on them.
And I need you to all go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Oh no.
Hope this doesn't take an hour.
As Solana has just
Oh man.
correctly the first time,
Falling
but
for
then
the
went over and
oldest trick
poked.
in the book.
And we will
Oh my goodness
roll
gracious.
for Espartha.
Well, at least a rock didn't fall on you.
See, this is the thing about possibility. It could be good or it could be bad.
It's the Tomb of Annihilation.
Probably gonna be bad.
But Moa is good. The Jakuli.
Quick question,
Yes.
do any of you play rogues in any of your other...
Yeah, I do have a rogue
In,
in
in another campaign, like not on here, yeah.
No, well, that's okay. I'm gonna ask you for combat purposes.
Oh jeez.
I'm gonna ask Paddle if you wouldn't mind running Espartha for combat for us.
I can try.
Basically, we're just going to run her basically like we did with Solana when she was here and just sort of keep them a little back, more almost like range support.
Okay.
Because I don't know Espartha's character well enough to know whether or not Espartha would necessarily go charging in. Don't think so, but hey.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm not 100% that Espartha
Yeah,
would do
especially with Espartha and I's exchanges so far.
But it actually starts out with Espartha.
Ooh. Matthew, how does the handout work? Could I tell people about that, or would I even know?
Huh?
The handout work?
Oh,
The one that you gave me?
in terms
I
of
just
what?
had a question. Like, would I be able to tell people about it, or would I not know what it was exactly?
Well, real quick, we'll say go ahead and make an intelligence check.
So good.
Okay. So you've got a pretty good idea that somebody's along for the ride with you,
Okay.
and they said they would help you.
Okay.
Keep in mind that capital F section,
Yes, yes.
because it's one of those things that who knows whether or not it'll actually work out the way it should.
Okay.
But yeah, you've got a pretty good idea you may not know who, but you're pretty sure what.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
Okay.
sorry guys. I'm ready to go.
So with that starting battle, what would Sparta be doing?
I don't know if she has any spell slots of any level, because it says 0 for all of them, so I'm guessing not.
Oh, no, arcane trickster, she may not have set it up properly. So I would say, for safety, any of her cantrips, those are all just good to go.
Yeah.
Or, she also has, whatchamacallit, a longbow that she can use. She would get sneak attack on that, because Solana's next to it.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, we'll probably just go with the bow.
Okay, let's go ahead and make that roll for me. Because I've actually got to subtract some. Oh, no, not that. Okay.
Oh.
So the first one, unfortunately, is going to miss. It just slams into the wall next to Solana.
Ah. Watch it here.
And that'll bring us over to the Mimic. That is going to... as you're already
I'm
stuck
flying like
to it.
above it. Yeah.
Yep,
but
so
I'm stuck
it's
to
going to, as you're stuck to the front of it,
Yeah.
and get your body, it is actually going to open up wide and lean forward and try to take a bite
Okay.
out of you.
Let's go with.
And that is it. Let me just make sure. Okay, so let me just check because I always never remember my rules. Okay, so you're considered grapple.
Oh, I am? Okay.
Yeah, but you're not restrained, so it does not have advantage on you. That's only if you're restrained. So is a 12 going to hit?
Nope.
And that ends its turn, and it is now Devanay's go.
Devanay, help! I was stupid!
I told you!
I know! You're usually right about everything.
I'm getting the feeling this happens often.
No, not everything. I'm going
Most
to
things. You were
fire
right
a fire. Would I be able to do like a firebolt without hitting Solana?
A firebolt, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Fireball,
I'm
not
not
at all.
no. No.
Yeah, you guys have worked around each other enough. You're pretty confident that she's flying around it, but as long as you're doing directed attacks to it, not area of effect, you'd be able to get it fine. That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. Oh. And for future reference, while grappled does not usually mean advantage, apparently it does with mimics, so we'll remember that for next
Oh,
time.
okay. Do you want me to take that off?
Oh, no, don't. No, not at all. That was DM mistake. I didn't read it properly. So that'll definitely hit as you watch Solana. As you see the small flaming mote slam into the side of the chest, and you watch as little bits of the pseudo wood start almost look like they're burning like a log in a fireplace for a couple of seconds. And that'll. Are you staying where you are? Are you moving?
As long as Solarian can get by me if he needs to. Then...
Yeah, he'd be able to squeak by.
Yeah, then I'm done.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Paddle then.
Oh boy. Alright, so we're just shooting this thing? Sure. Let's do it.
You guys can fly over to it if you choose to.
I don't know how this works. I'm gonna shoot from here. This is kind of my whole deal. Nice.
That'll definitely hit, so go ahead and roll some damage. Ooh, that's a significant amount.
Now, is it flanked, or is it just because it's grappled Solana that it's kind of...
In terms of what?
Like, damage-wise, do I inflict anything more because it's engaged with Solana, or no?
No. It's... rogues get sneak attack if there is an ally within 5 feet. But that's something
And
specific to
Moonstalkers
rogues.
don't get anything extra.
Yeah. So
No, I was just
in
talking-
order for it to be flanked, you'd have to be directly on opposite sides of it.
Oh, okay.
Unless you were doing Hunter's Mark and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hunter's Mark would not a rogue. I mean, ranger.
Alright.
No worries.
Stay where you are, moving.
Paddle's gonna try and doggy Goblin Paddle. This is the wrong thing. Kinda like over here in the air, which is wholly unfamiliar.
Oh, okay. So, and this is a very odd sensation for Paddle, because as you're sort of pulling yourself over that way, there is no
Somehow.
ground underneath you. It is just wide open darkness. You know there's water somewhere down there, but as you peer down, your vision just vanishes into nothing. And that'll bring us over to Solaren.
So, Solaren can see the mimic from here, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna just stay right where I am and target it with Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go ahead and make some rolls for us. Okay, first one will hit. Ooh. Okay. And I think you got a second one, right?
Yeah, I'll target it again.
Okay.
15.
Second will hit as well. Okay, it is still on its feet. It's looking rough, though.
Okay.
And
Would-
yeah, that's it. I'll stay right here.
Okay, and that'll bring us
I
over.
know if it's still sticky, if it's in a different form.
I don't think Solana's run into a mimic before, so I'm going to say probably not.
I'm gonna polymorph it into him now. With one of my pixies.
Okay. So, what's the saving throw on the pixie?
Oh yeah, the 12 for pixies. Crap.
Okay. Let's see. That's polymorph, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I think there is something. One of these days, these things will stop popping up over y'all's cameras. Okay. Okay, so as you reach up and yell, so mark down the pixies burnt one of their polymorphs. As the pixie casts the spell down on it, you watch as it seems to have no effect.
Because it's a shapeshifter. Crap. Alright, that was my turn. Was that the pixie's turn or is that?
That's the pixies would go on your initiative, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to... I would know. I can't do anything because I'm in concentration. That is annoying. I am going to light my hand. No, I can't produce flame. I can frostbite it.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
much. I think if my hands are stuck on it, I can at least frostbite it or something.
What is frostbite? Basically,
That's
your
fine.
hands are stuck on the front of it, so anything that uses somatic components is going to be extremely difficult for you.
Okay.
So if you've got anything that does verbal only, there's not a
Okay.
whole lot that I can think of. That's
No verbal only. Alright, I'm just gonna hang here.
But you can use, if you want, you can use a strength check to try to get out of it.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check.
I am so strong. I should have used my DM's inspiration. Next
And-
time.
As it,
Yep.
it's unfortunately
Okay.
nothing going there. And that brings us back to Espartha.
Oh, finally, now that that thing is out of my way. She's gonna try Firebolt.
Alrighty then.
Let's see. Did she?
It's in her spell, so you should just be able to click it from the attack section.
Okay. Ha.
Or not. Hold on, let me get that pulled up. I try something. Of course. Okay, give me just a second here. So we're going to delete Firebolt. Sorry, folks.
Now I know not such dangerous stuff, even though it's shiny.
Do you know though?
No, because I'm
No.
probably not the next thing that
Over.
looks shiny.
That one work.
Okay.
Holy heck. Nah, go ahead and click Firebolt for me, Parrot, because that's going to hit.
Cool.
Okay, and with that, Espartha manages to put the Mimic out of its misery. Well, rather out of Solana's misery. Before it got a chance to eat her and drop her into the water below.
This is called the Tomb of Annihilation for a reason. Am I still stuck to it?
No, you are now free as it has fallen and battle, and you guys are out of initiative.
Well, I learned my lesson today. No, I didn't.
He's
Okay.
only half over.
Is it? That's unfortunate. Let's fly down.
I'm going
Can we
How?
fly up?
How
Is
though?
there anything up?
as you look up, the ceiling is about 12 feet above you.
Any
Doesn't
other
look like
like
there's anything
openings?
above us.
Nope.
Okay, we'll fly down.
Alrighty then. So,
If the paddle seems to be spinning, Devine will sort of grab a shoulder and point down, and then,
Yeah, don't
Which
get seasick.
if
I know you
needed
like you can get like sick, air sick or something if you're not used to this. Try to pick one place and look at it.
okay, so
Alright.
who is taking point coming down here?
I will.
Definitely not paddle.
Okay, Solana, as you start flying down this long, dark descent, I need you to go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Oh yes, thank goodness.
You
I
know
was
how much
hoping you'd
our
say that.
party loves percentile dice.
Flashback to unlucky 13.
Yep, that was good. That was good. Beautiful.
Okay. Alrighty then. So as you start descending down, you get, and actually let me jump over and tell you what you're seeing here. Okay. Come on. There we are. As you start to fly down, you see the walls of this grotto you start to find yourself in are coated thick with slime. The air
Nope.
reeks of death and decay. filthy water tumbling down from above you. And then starts to run and course down through the south in a roughly hewn tunnel. Again, much like the one you were just in, looks like the water's just been cutting away into the stone for eons. Off in the distance, you can see it sort of disappears around a bend. And dimly in the distance, you hear the strange sounds of machinery.
Machine?
Yes. And as you start to drift down, in your mind, you hear... Well, it has been so many years since someone has come down here. Well, I am looking forward to meeting you all. For you have found my lair now.
Nope. Up. Everybody up.
Did everybody hear that?
No, just Solana. She was the first one down. And
Oh,
immediately you watch as she goes down, it immediately flies right back past you.
Everybody up. Someone's down
happened?
there that said it's their lair. That we're
Solana,
down to let's not
Solana.
go to their lair.
Solana, I'm going
Yep.
down.
You're going down?
Yes,
Oh,
that's probably what we're here for. Remember why we're here for?
no. But I'm gonna heal you.
We gotta find somebody's lair and get their thing.
There you go. You get 10 more points of healing.
Thanks. Thanks.
Uh-huh. And then I'm gonna do that thing, Matthew.
Huh?
I DM'd you?
Oh,
You would think.
okay.
How often can I do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So as
That's
you
your-
watch as Solana walks over, and as she reaches out and touches you, and you feel that familiar warmth flow through your body as Solana heals you forces some vigor back into your body. As she moves her hand away, and you watch as she fades from your sight. And she's just gone.
Did she Misty Step? Solana, you shouldn't have Misty Step.
I didn't miss any step. I'm just invisible.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
I can do this
don't
thing.
scare me like that.
Okay. But that thing started talking to me and I got scared.
Is Lana invisible to all of us, or
Yes,
just Devin?
none of you can see her.
All of us.
You
Okay.
you all just watched her fade away into nothing.
Okay.
And you've never seen her do this before.
I still see us sitting at the top of the waterfall. Should we be somewhere else
Oh.
at this point?
That would be a genius DM move. And poof!
Oh. Okay. Now we're at the bottom of the waterfall.
And shift ping!
Yeah. So the voice said that we were going straight into its lair. So I got scared. I ran away. So did Pat.
Ah, we lost a paddle.
Very scared.
I didn't. You said that, and I'm like, wait, paddle didn't say she was going anywhere. Okay,
And
so
now my voice connection is crap.
Yeah, mine's kind of cutting in and out right now.
okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's go. Sorry, folks, minor
Internet.
technical difficulties. Let us attempt to fix. Wow, okay, that's still crap.
Yeah, still red. Oh, I'm green.
Hey, there it goes.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys have slowly drifted your way down.
So I'm gonna go first and just poke my head around, okay? Because no one can see me. Is this a good idea? Devonay, is this a good idea?
Yeah, just don't poke things that are suspicious.
Okay, I won't. I promise. So I go all the way around here. Do I see anything yet?
As you start to, again, it's very dark down here. So even with your dark vision, you can What's your dark vision? You have 60 feet, right?
Yeah, 60. I can only see about 2 here.
Yeah, so as you're looking out, you can see there just seems to open up into a larger, almost like a lake area.
Okay.
You can sort of see something in the distance.
Oh.
As you get to be there, all of a sudden it looks like there's some sort of massive structure in front of you. And it's sitting on some sort of round base with teeth sticking out of it.
Would I know what a gear was? Like, would I know that that's gear shaped?
I'll say probably.
Okay. So I'm gonna swim flat out and be like, guys, there's like this massive fortress on top of this giant gear thing. Fortress.
Okay.
Cool, and we're still good with being, like, down here?
Well, we have to. As Stephanie reminded me.
We're here for something called the Soulmonger, and I have a feeling that deeper is better. Yeah.
Should we try and find a place to rest before we go too much deeper?
Oh, who needs to rest?
Obviously
Yeah, I
not
do.
over the water, but I
Okay.
could use a rest if we find a spot.
Solana, is there lots of water?
There's a water and a cavern, and then like 2 waterways that way, and then this fortress on top of this gear in the middle. Do you want me to go down one way to see if we can land somewhere?
Sure. Just don't touch anything, okay?
Okay, I won't touch anything, I promise.
Okay, so Solana, do me a favor as you start heading out there. Roll another D100 for me. As you enter this dark underground lake, sprawls out in front of you. The ceiling in this section, a good 20 feet above the surface of the lake, is festooned with chains and gears, some of which appear to have dwarves hanging from them. A gigantic, motionless stone cog rises from the water. As you start trying to look around, it looks like there may be more, like other parts of this further in. As you look down at the water a little bit more, the water of the lake almost looks slimy and slick, with pinpricks of phosphorescent light twinkling through the murk and slime.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty, but kind of gross.
As you start walking through here, you hear, "Wow, somebody came down here. Are you here to help us? There are all sorts of scary things down here. We hear all the mean, nasty things."
Who are you?
I don't remember my name.
The laughter makes it scarier?
Yeah.
I'm Galirul.
And how'd you get down here, Galiro?
I've been here for so long. I can't remember.
Okay.
Feels like I've always been down here. Who are you?
My name's Solana. I've got some friends here, and maybe we can help you out.
Don't mention. Okay.
Well, if that's possible, yeah. I'd love to meet you guys. If you guys all come out onto the lake, we can meet.
Okay. That's probably the worst thing ever. Hey guys,
Okay, we'll see you
Galiro
soon. And then you feel
we
it.
can go meet it on the lake, and you guys don't know where I am actually, so it doesn't matter.
Can
You
we
guys
Just
Para,
hearing your
all of
we
us-
voice.
hear her voice approaching?
Yeah, and Para, all of a sudden you can hear Solana speaking like a foot away from the side of your head.
So this thing called Galiro doesn't know how long it's been down here and wants to speak to us in the middle of the lake. What do you guys think? I'm thinking
Did you
trap.
insight check it?
No, because I don't do that. But I learned from the box a little, just a modicum, that we should not trust things that first seem innocent, like a box.
Yeah,
Why-
maybe
why
we shouldn't be so
can't-
quick to walk out into the open.
Can't it
Yeah.
just come over here and talk to us?
Did you see this voice? This
No, but
Or
it couldn't
just a
see me
voice?
either, to be fair, so I think we're even on that term, actually. So if anyone else wants to go talk to, go
I mean,
roll.
I wouldn't mind talking to it, but I don't really want to, I don't really trust the invisible thing that is
What
now
are-
talking to us. Or you?
You mean me?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, but I know what you look like when you're not invisible.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it just asked you to help us. It didn't tell you anything more. Didn't give you
I
any
forgot to
information.
ask. I'm really bad at talking to people, to be fair. I kind of just said...
I've noticed. Well, maybe if we just go out along the sides and, maybe
Okay. We'll go along the sides, and we'll...
maybe
kind
not
of-
right out to the open.
Okay.
Is Fly still active, or
Yeah,
are we?
it's for like an hour.
Yep. So technically, you could fly or you could walk on water, because both of those are active
Oh,
for
yeah.
an hour.
Oh, that's true.
I'm gonna fly. I'll just
Yeah, same here. I don't. It's asking us to go out in the middle of the lake. I don't really want to.
disturb the water, right?
Or expose ourselves too much.
Okay.
Galero, so, where are you exactly?
Okay, well, just get right into it.
So, Slana, go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Gah.
Or did take. Is this what Sunday was like?
I don't know, I wasn't
Kinda,
there.
Except less nerve-wracking.
As the group of you start to enter and call out, all of you now hear this voice in your minds.
Oh.
Oh, wow, you came. It's so nice to see the three of you. Which one of you was I? Oh, okay, four of you, because I forgot to drag over Espartha. Which one of you was I talking with?
That lady there. He's gonna point to Debonair.
Oh, well, thank you for bringing your friends. Are you really here to help us?
Is this the same
Many
voice?
there are you.
Oh, hold on, I'll come up. And is all of you go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Gah.
Okay.
Ooh, Dominic.
Wow.
Ooh, Solarian.
Oh, that's pretty good considering I'm on one.
Yeah.
Alrighty then, so nobody sees a bloody thing. Except
Wait, I
for
have to
Solana.
do. I have to do Espartha, but
Don't worry about it. It's
Okay.
This is more for a role play.
Okay.
It's not combat intensive. So as the majority of you are looking and don't really see anything, Solana, you immediately start to see a massive dark shape
Run. Fly.
under the
Flee.
water,
Flee, you fools.
starting to swim towards the group in the party.
Nope. We're noping back. Nope, back. Back. Nope, back. Now.
Solana, I don't. What are you? I don't see anything.
Yeah, well, I do. And eyes. They're like an eagle's eyes. So we should make that the one. Okay, they're not like an eagle's eyes. I just lied that time. So they're like eyes, but they're regular eyes. I just happen to be perceptive at this right now
boy.
in this conversation. So we should go back to where we came. Because
What
there's
is happening?
a
Well,
giant thing
Solana
forming.
is talking to us.
As you're looking, you start to see a long, dark tentacle starting to reach out of the water.
Nope.
Yeah,
See what you
Solaren
want.
also flees
And then
back when
a
he sees
second
that.
one.
Oh, no, well, I mean, this is nice. I've had some fun times with you, but
Sparta follows the other two. And,
Yeah.
and as the group of you start to flee back, all of you hear in your mind, "No, wait, where are you going? Why are you running? Come back!"
You're a giant tentacle monster. You didn't tell us that part.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What do you look like? What do you think you look like?
Are you saying you see a tentacle monster?
Yes. Do you not see a tentacle monster?
No, I had heard rumors that one lives in the lake, but I've never seen it.
Would have been helpful to tell us that beforehand.
You hear about all sorts of things, but we've never seen one.
Where are you
Well, we've
exactly?
seen it now.
People say it
What?
has all these tentacles and hundreds of razor-sharp teeth.
Yeah, let's avoid that at all costs.
Are you right in front of us? Or are you farther away?
I was until you all ran away.
I think you might be the tentacle monster we're seeing.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I don't know if I want to persuade it of this, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, then I have an existential crisis, and
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know what a good roll means.
Nowadays,
Neither does the DM.
You could lull it into a false sense of security, maybe?
yeah.
it's
Or you
more
could give it an
powerful than it
tentacle
thinks it
monster.
is.
And it'll run headlong into danger.
Let's slowly fly back up.
Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna have
Or
this
did
thing.
you still want to be down here because it's the center nexus thing, Devaney?
Divinay still wants to be where on this floor because she thinks it's the right direction. Because she also thinks that anywhere else we go is just going to be as dangerous.
This is true.
I think we
Considering
should
what she looks like at the moment.
try and find a quiet corner to rest before we go
Yeah,
any
that
further in
too.
any direction.
We're not going to try to find a quiet corner at this juncture.
No, it's the next possible.
Everything goes quiet for a couple of moments. I don't think I'm a monster.
Well, you might not be a monster, but it's hard to tell when you just see tentacles and you're not sure if that's the person you're actually talking to.
Well, are you guys gonna come back so we can talk?
Okay.
Sure. If you want to come up slowly again.
So as you start to turn around and head back in, you can still see the two tentacles sticking out of the water in front of you.
Okay.
And then slowly you watch as the surface of the water starts almost to roil, almost like water coming to a slow boil. As you can tell, something large is now coming through.
At what rate? Is there any way we can make it to the other side, like here-ish, in that amount of time?
Probably not,
Okay.
as it's starting to breach the surface right now.
Okay.
And what you see is a massive creature, this large toothy maw staring down the tunnel, looking at those of you it can see. And as it sits there, face turning back and forth between the groups of you for a couple of seconds, then you watch as one of the tentacles waves. And that's where we're going to take our break this evening. as this
The friendly abalone.
strange creature is now waving at our party.
I did not expect that. Oh my
And so we'll be back in just a few to see how our party deals with this rather strange occurrence. As a massive aboleth has
Yes.
just revealed itself to them and waved.
Oh my god.
So as our party has a few moments to sort of ponder as we top off our drinks and take care of what we need to, don't forget, if you got any spare bits, definitely throw them in as we're raising everything we're doing this month for Autism Awareness and the Zephyr Foundation. And we'll be back in like 3 to 7 minutes, somewhere in that range. So we will see you soon.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so confused.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, where the DM and producer leaves his channel muted yet again.
I've done it.
Sorry.
I mean, it was
Welcome
a
back.
nice recap.
You know, welcome to Mondays, a proficiency bonus, where I recap something after a break, and none of y'all can hear me because I'm a jackass.
Yeah,
There's our foul language. We're PG-13. So, our party has met the Galilu.
Galerial.
I'm just going to put it in chat, and I'm just going to call him G, because,
Galerial.
G is a
Yo.
whole lot easier than this monstrosity of a name. You know what?
Galerial.
I'm going to... Where? Okay. There's his name.
Oh my goodness, he's a Cthulhu monster. You didn't tell me that from the spelling.
He's a toothy tentacle creature. Yeah,
Yes,
Cthulhu.
he's definitely from Cthulhu.
Okay.
We need to get out of here.
Leslie looks at you. So, what are you guys doing down here?
I'm going to be silent and fly over to the other side. Can I do that?
Sure.
Just fly here.
Oh, okay.
We're looking for a something. We think it's a thing.
Oh, you found a someone.
Do you know what a soulmonger is?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Well, we
Are
think
you
we're
here
looking
to kill
for
the
that.
monster in the lake?
I mean, if it's scaring you, we can.
Well, we keep hearing about it, and it's got all these tentacles and these teeth, and that sounds scary.
Paddle's just like looking at Devanate, looking at it, looking at Devanate.
David is like, well, if we come across something with lots of teeth and lots of tentacles, and it is gonna try to eat us, then we'll take care of it for you.
Wow, you guys can do that?
We've killed lots of nasty monsters where we're from.
Wow, you guys must be strong.
We
In a
do our
manner of
best.
speaking.
You
What-
can't see this creature right now?
Oh yeah, I can
you can
definitely
also-
see it.
No, but I'm asking
Oh,
this voice.
you're at.
Yeah, you don't, because it seems like it doesn't see this creature, and we clearly do.
It's because it's
And you watch as the head of this ablet starts jerking around. What? You see it? Where?
Okay, so I will use this opportunity to fly across as well, right past it.
As you fly by, it draws you. What's it behind me? What?
No, you're good. It's
What?
okay.
Wait, who's that?
G, do you know if there's another floor down from here, or a way out?
There's all sorts of ways out of the lake. There's doors over on the other side. There's. Well, if you guys are from, you must have come down the waterfall. That's a
Right.
long way up.
Do you know how we can go down farther?
I don't leave the lake. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I know that these big rooms behind me sometimes spin.
Do you know why that happens? Or just...
No, when they spin, it's loud and scary. I don't go near them.
probably the good thing to do?
Do you know how to get inside the spinny things?
I think there's a doorway over on the other side somewhere. I think it's to the south portion.
Well, we're gonna do some exploring. And if we come across that big scary monster, we'll take care of it for you, okay?
Okay. If I find anything, I'll let you guys know. As long
That
as you're
would
within
be
my area,
great.
I can talk to you.
Sounds helpful.
Thank you.
Who is that I keep hearing?
I'm not 100% sure, but they sound nice.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't sound like a scary monster with teeth and tentacles.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go somewhere around this big gear thing.
Okay, you guys have fun.
We'll try.
There's
Yeah.
those of you
sure.
watching watch as this creature starts to slowly dip itself back down under the water.
And I guess we'll follow Solarin.
What in the place has happened right there?
Well, it doesn't seem to realize that it is the toothy creature that we're talking about.
Oh dear.
Shh. Don't
And
let it figure it out.
yes, I have
might do something.
no intention of letting it know that it is either.
Okay.
Apparently it didn't let on when I tried to tell it so.
Yeah. In fact, I
No.
suggest we don't even talk to it anymore. Even if it talks to
no,
us.
it might help us.
It might
It's-
lead us
it's-
to a doom. It does.
Just don't mention anything about its situation.
Okay. Anyway.
Can we go, is what we're up against here into the water?
It's not into the water. There's a single two pillars that go down into the water, but you guys can move right underneath it.
Okay. Like here?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
It's like a waterway, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically, these rooms that are to your north. There's a massive stone gear sitting in right on the surface of the water. Above that, you can see what looks to be a couple of inches another smaller stone gear set just within it. And then on top of that, what appears to be a pentagonal room. Given that a couple of you have sort of been around a couple of sides of it at this point.
Can we see into the room?
No.
Okay.
Realistically, the lighting lines are probably a little broken.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, from where you guys are, you cannot see into the room.
Okay. And
Yeah,
it's,
I can see
flat
a little
on
bit,
top
but
with a card on top. It
no
like goes
idea.
up to the ceiling.
Said who?
Sorry. It goes up to the ceiling, the walls.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so we can't fly over it. Okay.
Nope.
I
So as you
will
guys
keep
continue moving along, Galil will advise you that they know that there's some other entrance down along the southern section.
Yeah,
But you can
if
see that
Galil
there's...
was-
Hmm?
I was just saying, we'll see if Galil was telling the truth or not.
You can see as you're moving along again, running into the same sort of thing. You can see every once in a while these phosphorescent flickers of lights throughout this slimy, deep, stagnant-looking water.
Hmm.
Can I see if there's like anything like that is causing that?
Sure, go ahead and make a nature check.
Ooh, I can do that. Can I do that too?
Sure.
Boy. Oh yeah, cool.
It's you're really not sure, given that you know that there's some sort of monstrosity living in these waters. You're probably sure there's other foul things down in the deep.
Okay. don't be mean to the aboleth.
So as you guys continue to make your way over, eventually you find yourself standing next to a couple of rowboats on the small dock with some stairs that lead up to a tower.
Maybe we can rest inside this tower.
And
Sounds
as you
good
start
too.
approaching it, you see it's very obviously a worked stone column. Stretches from where you're standing now all the way up to the roof and is attached to the nearby wall by what looks to be a stone wall of some sort. On the side you're closest with, you can see a small wooden dock and moss-covered steps leading up to a stone door that Devaney, from your distance you can see, appears to have no handles or hinges on the front of it. There are two rowboats sitting to the south of you, both little rusty, like row hooks.
Orlocks.
Yeah. And just to the north, there looks to be, best way I can describe it is like, looks to be a shark cage almost. But it's covered in rust and it's just, it looks like it's mostly being held up by this layer of slime on top of the water.
So I should not touch that.
Well, maybe we could just rest on, like, the door doesn't look like we can open it. So maybe we could just sit in these rowboats and on these steps.
Can I check the door?
For what?
Buttons.
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Nope, no buttons.
So as you reach up and start touching, looking at the door to find if there are any sort of traps or anything into it, immediately as you touch, a massive mouth forms in the middle of the door and looks at you. Well, it addresses the group of you. I'm so hungry I could eat you alive. But I'll settle for something else. Something living. Something light.
Guys,
Paddle steps back.
let's move on.
Is
I
there? There's
you could
nothing
fish
in the
for-
cage. It's
We,
just
we
an
don't
empty
we
cage.
don't need to get through this door. I don't think. Let's keep looking somewhere else.
Make a perception check, Solaren.
Okay.
So you don't see anything in the cage, but you do notice on the stairs leading up to it, there's a whole bunch of broken crab shells.
I'll gather up a handful and toss the shells in. See if that satisfies it.
The door just repeats the same sentence back to you. You get the feeling that throwing empty shells where it's asking for something living isn't going to cut it.
Can we lift up this this thing?
The cage?
Yeah, can we lift it up?
Yeah, it looks like it's hooked onto some sort of a winch.
Okay, I'll turn the winch.
Oh, okay. So
'Cause,
as you start,
why not?
as you start cranking the winch to pull it up, as you pull up the cage, there are a couple of crabs at the bottom of the cage.
Laren, why don't you try it now? With the crabs at the bottom of the cage.
Sure. I'll plunges his hands into the water and kind of
Okay.
pulls out a couple of crabs and.
As you reach in, do me a favor, go ahead and make a dexterity save.
Okay.
Okay, so as you reach in, you manage to get 2 or 3 of them out. You do take 1 point of, we'll call it piercing damage as
Okay.
you reach in. There's a couple of them, it's like 4 or 5 that just manage to start nipping at your hand.
Just like
Stings a little, you got a little bit of blood coming out of your finger, but nothing too bad, but you manage to get 2 or 3 out for
And
it.
then he takes a little bit of pleasure in throwing that one to the maw of this.
Okay, is immediately as you toss this around, as you're picking up the cage, all of you would notice the crabs are glowing.
Oh.
Each one, as you pull them up and you're tossing these in, each crab is radiating this strange phosphorescent light. Solana and Battle, you both all of a sudden have a realization that you're pretty sure this is what the flecks of light that you're seeing throughout the different spots of the lake are.
Oh, now I kind of feel guilty because they're kind of pretty.
As you toss them in, though, immediately the mouth opens wider and slams down and starts crushing these. And as you watch, it devours them completely. As it finishes devouring the food you've given it, you watch as the mouth disappears and the door swings inward, opening into this stone column.
Well, I guess we could maybe go in before
I'll
it
go in.
resets.
I'll go like right here. Right
Yeah.
in the front.
So it was kind of like a light snack
Joyce.
in a couple meanings.
Yeah, that's true. Huh.
Come on in.
So,
It's dry.
as eventually everybody makes their way in.
Fine.
Guess I've got to jump back and forth to get you the information here. As you're looking around, you can see there is a spiral staircase leading up. You can only see as it spirals above your head, about 10 feet above you. You really can't see how high up it goes, but it does not seem to be leading southward at all. And you can see that there is a path that leads, it does not seem to be leading down, but you do see there is a path also leading southward.
Well, why don't we take a break for a bit, or a short rest?
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably not late enough in the day to take a long rest, right?
No, at this point it's probably, give or take, about lunchtime. It didn't take you all that long to get there. You guys left right at first light.
I'm going to let my dog out because she is being vocal. I will be right back. But yes, I will take a short rest.
Okay.
Okay.
You can certainly try.
Yeah, should we investigate this hall here and just,
Well, just
if we see it's clear, we'll just rest
maybe we
right
should
there,
just camp on the stairs.
right on the stairs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are hunkering down to take a little while. And if you've got hit dice you want to reroll, anything like that.
I don't know if I did this correctly, but I'll try.
Ooh, nice roll on that last one, Maddie.
Yeah.
Ooh. There was even nicer.
So I still had temporary hit points from before. So after the short rest, would they go away, or would they
Well,
still?
temporary hit points you lose as soon as you lose them.
Oh, okay. But like, if I hadn't taken. All I took was the 1 point of damage since I got them, so they would still
So you would just have one fewer temporary hit point. They
Okay,
don't
yeah,
regain.
yeah, that's where I am right now. I just wanted to clarify.
Well, no, because you rolled hit dice, so you would have lost your. The way temporary hit points work is think of it like you're just supercharged.
Right.
So if you've got 5 temporary hit points and you take 5 damage, those temporary hit points are gone. You never get them back.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to roll hit dice and refill them.
Okay, no, I wasn't refilling them, but do I lose them?
Yeah, once they're
After-
gone, they're just gone.
Okay,
Does
but
he
no.
lose them now that he's taken a short rest?
Yeah, that was
Or
my
do they
question.
just stick around until you
until
lose
I
them?
lose them.
What happens?
Right, but that's what's confusing me. So Solarin's taken damage.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
did. I subtracted that from my temporary hit points, and I still
So-
have 12 remaining.
But you've rolled more than 12 damage. I mean, you've rolled hit dice for 26 health.
Yeah, and that went to my current HP.
No, that would go
Correct.
temporary first.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
Yeah, you would deduct temporary first and then deduct your regular.
Okay.
So did you need to roll the third hit dice then, or no?
Yeah, I could still use it. So,
Okay. Okay, so you guys managed to get your short rest, and you do hear all manner of noise coming from the floors above you.
It can't be good.
Like what kind of noises?
Footsteps.
Oh.
Well, now that we've rested, maybe we should go down that hallway there.
Seems about as good as any.
Check
Yeah.
for traps.
So his Para has gone charging down the tunnel first. Para, do me a favor and go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Is it a space between the roll again? I forget.
/ roll space 1D100.
Okay.
Okay. So as you start running in, immediately in your mind, you step in this weird sort of strange viscous greenish fluid. And immediately in your head you hear, I've waited so long. Here down deep in the dark. Waiting for your foolish gods to die. Soon I will join my family, and we will rule this world. But until then, we wait.
Ooh, we're gonna keep on waiting. Hey, guys.
Traps? Are there traps?
Nah, but there's like this guy, and he's like talking to me, and he's,
I get that all the time. What's new?
great. I guess new for me then. He's waiting somewhere down there, and he's excited about us coming to some party he has going on down there. He's waiting for,
it's a party.
I don't think it's the great kind.
I think we might be going the right direction then.
What's a soulmonger again?
The thing that's eating the souls and not allowing people to be revived
You have to
or
kill a
res.
thing that's eating souls. You're not-
Yeah, so we can get Gwen back, Solana.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the party doing?
We're gonna follow, I guess.
Traps?
I gotta check our traps.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Oh boy. Wow.
It is a somewhat slimy, but trap-free hallway.
Okay.
Gross. Seems good. Watch your step, I guess, over that. Gross.
Divine is gonna do her best to avoid the goop because she's already covered in enough stuff. She doesn't need more.
On Solana, you guys did get a short rest, and so if you need to roll hit dice, feel free. Okay, as you guys
I don't think so.
making your way down, the corridor turns and heads off to the east, and seems to end in a dead end.
So it does.
Mm.
This is fun, guys. This is so fun. So, should we go up?
Well, what
or
do we
should
see up there?
Uh,
Back
dead
behind the
end.
corner.
A whole
I
lot of
guess-
nothing.
Hmm.
Maybe there's like a door space? Because remember when we
Secret
had...
doors! Secret
Yeah,
doors!
the secret door.
It's always gonna be a secret door. How many have we
Unless-
found so far?
Unless there is no secret door.
I think.
I'm gonna stay back there.
So what'd you say you're doing?
Bumped into.
Go
Devonay is
forth
going
and-
to go up and down the hallway looking for secret doors.
I'm gonna go down here
She's
and look for the
convinced
secret door.
there is some somewhere.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an investigation check to see what you guys are finding.
Nothing! A whole lot of nothing.
So many ones.
I know. Roll 20, you're killing us. With death.
Okay,
That's
as you
usually how it
two
happens.
spend a good couple of minutes basically scouring opposite ends of this hallway and spots in between, you guys don't seem to find anything.
No, nothing's here.
There has to be.
Nope.
Paddle, you're short. Maybe you
Thanks.
can check. I mean, yeah.
Because
That.
I'm lower to the ground, so I'm more accustomed with.
The ground.
I get it.
I mean, you know, I'm tall, and it kind of hurts to bend over and look, and you
Tall
know,
people.
you just.
Tall people.
Closer.
Solaren just checks
That's
while
fine.
this is all going on.
Yeah.
But he,
As Paddle, as you're watching, is Devonay seems to be having this really somewhat awkward conversation with you. You watch as Solaren is now going along the walls, up and down, hand along them. Doesn't seem to be finding anything.
I'm gonna try as well. Nothing.
But it has to be.
Maybe the rogue should check?
At this point,
Everyone?
even if we give every single one of you advantage, none of y'all find nothing.
I already have advantage.
Oh man. Okay, so let's go up.
No, we have to stay.
there
How,
we could.
how long do you want to stay here and look for a pig door?
Well,
We could go back out
Devonay's
to the
allowed
dock.
to look again. She would like to use her nat 20 to look for a secret door.
You have the nat 20 this week?
I do.
Okay.
She's convinced that somewhere there is always a secret door.
Okay.
Okay, and Devonay eventually does find one as she burns the nat 20.
Really?
She was the closest one worth a check, but even she missed it.
Yeah.
And then that 20 is used
20.
to find an entrance.
Well,
And
that was...
as after about 30 to 45 minutes of searching from all of you,
That's like Pathfinder, right? Take 30?
eventually you see this, Devonay manages to find this little spot in some etching on the wall, and you watch as the far east wall just and slides its way open, leading to another hallway.
I knew it! There was a secret door! There's always a secret door!
Huh, so it wasn't just poor building planning.
There's not always a secret door, but you're right.
As
It's
you
been
look,
so far.
you can see strangely there's as this door is slid open, you can see this hallway path opens up to the north and south.
Let's
And
flip
from
card,
the
'cause you want to-
south,
Yeah.
there's light. So it almost burns a little bit at first, as you guys haven't seen light in a good few hours. It's
Like
that, you
daylight?
walk out of the dark basement, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's not daylight, it looks to be candle or torchlight, but...
Okay. Okay.
This whole time we've been like searching around. Have like the footsteps upstairs gotten any like more hectic or?
No, it's as you're moving further away from the stairs, it doesn't seem like you can hear them as well.
Okay.
I think it was just because it was echoing whatever was going on and wherever the stairs lead to. Could have been people walking by, could have been anything.
Great. Could have been another aboleth.
Solana, I think we should go north because that's back to where the gears and stuff are.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And
Do you wanna
and
lead
then
or-
maybe we can talk to that person. I don't know. G.
I don't think we should talk to G again. I think she's
If-
very confused, and I will eventually tell G that it is not aboleth.
I
Oh,
I already
don't know
tried
if
that.
we can do
It
that.
didn't seem to work.
I don't see any way that would end well for us.
But maybe
Yeah.
it can help us if we need to go that way.
Okay.
And if
Maybe.
we can't get
It's a
anywhere, we
risk.
could go back south.
Okay.
Alright, I'm stepping out in this hallway,
Oh, okay.
and I am going
You
to
can
walk
see
away.
to the south, the hallway does seem to be covered in a lot of cobwebs, but you do see lit candlelight coming from the southern hallway.
You sure we shouldn't follow the candlelight? See what's there?
I've heard stories of wisps in forests, and if you go toward them, they're bad.
I've heard of stories of giant aboleths and lakes, and they're usually bad.
Yeah, but that one wasn't. I mean, it waved at us. It must be good, right?
I disagree with your logic there.
I would like to check this hallway for traps.
Okay, go ahead and make it an investigation check.
Just because I wave at you doesn't mean I'm friendly. Well, usually with me it does. He looks you.
Looks to be clear.
Okay, I'm going to start walking down this hallway.
Oh,
Hopefully
Sure we
back
shouldn't go
toward.
towards the inviting light?
Devonay takes a copper piece out of her wherever she keeps it and casts light on it, and holds it up in her fist so it doesn't shine really bright. And follow the light.
Okay.
She
the other
yells
light?
down the hallway.
They won't see this!
Echoing down the hall.
Okay. I'm following you. I'm trusting you with this
Oh boy.
decision.
Oh no, more green stuff.
Oh, and the light is blinding as Solaren rounds the corner. Finally.
That's a very sort of jarring moment when you turn
Yeah,
the corner. It's like, oh, wow. So, Devonay, as you get right up next to this, immediately a pungent stench fills your nostrils from this pentagonal room. The walls you can see are covered with riveted sheets of iron. A wild garden full of sickly plants and rotting compost takes
Oh,
up
no.
the interior of this room. A very narrow path that you would have to squeeze through carefully runs along the wall immediately to your north, leading to what looks to be another exit. Jutting from the middle of the garden on the ground is a 60-foot tall rusty sprinkler. In the ceiling above the sprinkler is a 10-foot wide open hole that seems to lead somewhere upstairs.
you want me to speak with the dead sickly plants and ask what this area is, or do you think we should just bypass it?
We could. Yeah, it looks like there's an entrance over there.
Okay.
And,
So do
you
you
know,
wanna-
And this was just in the ceiling? This entrance?
Hmm?
This entrance was just like in the ceiling?
No, so there's a doorway that Devaney can see, and then as she looks along this wall heading to the north, there's another doorway that disappears.
Oh, okay.
But she's also, as
Okay.
she's looking around and sees this massive sprinkler towering up into the sky, there's a 10-foot wide open, like, shaft in the ceiling that seems to lead
Oh,
up
okay,
somewhere.
okay.
Okay. Well, you lead. I follow. For now.
Yeah, so I'm going to sort of put my sleeve over my mouth and try to inch along the wall and go into the other.
Okay, easy enough. It takes you a few moments because you have to walk a little carefully. But easy enough for you to make your way over to the other door. As you get over to that doorway and start to, step through into the other room, you can start to take a deep breath, and immediately your stomach almost turns as you get a very thick, acidic stench coming from this room. Much like the room you're just stepping out of, the walls are covered in that same riveted sheet iron. But you can see that the floor in this room is stone and filled with pockmarks. There's a large puddle of gray slime covering the middle area of the floor. And as you look, there are artwork along the walls just beneath the ceilings. Just beneath the ceiling, and each one of them depicts a black dragon's face.
No, thank you.
And I can see the
And you see another
door.
door on the other side of this room as well.
Oh, this where it looks worse. I have a feeling that might be acid of some sort.
Alright. Well, don't walk in.
But we need to get over there.
Yeah, we can just walk around that big puddle of acid, right?
Yeah, let's try to do that.
Or is the entire floor as acid? Did you
Nope,
say
there's
the
just
entire-
that large sort of
Okay.
gray puddle in the middle. You do see the entire floor is covered with little pockmarks, though.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stealth as best as I can in my clunky armor and go around the perimeter of the room.
Okay, go ahead
I
and make
can
a
use
stealth
my
check for me at
last-
disadvantage.
I can use my last spell, level 2 spell slot. No, I don't have a level 2 spell slot. I can cast it at the higher level.
Hey, you think you're doing okay?
Okay, I'm gonna turn
Clunk,
invisible
clunk,
again.
clunk.
Solana, as you start to turn, immediately as you start to make the decision to turn invisible, and you watch as Solana, as Devaney starts to sneak around the room, and you hear, ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
Okay.
She's moving. She looks like she's trying to be thief-like, but is just sort of jingling and
You've never heard
jangling the
Isn't it be
swords,
so
the
clunky
axes,
before?
the blades.
The armor.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, visibility isn't maybe the strong suit right now, so I'll just follow you.
Okay, Para and Slaren, what are you guys doing as these two seem to be leading you on this merry chase?
As soon as I get into the room, is that goo familiar to the stuff that we stepped on in the hallway? Or no? It's different.
Different
Yes.
goo.
Different goo.
Always
Yeah,
nice
the
to
stuff you stepped on in the hallway was this strange sort of like blue-green sort of viscous fluid. This room, the minute you walk in, it smells like acid and bile. And this is a dull gray liquid.
All right. Just gonna like go where they're going. Can I like kind of look at the paintings though? What did you say?
So
They
these
were?
images, they're not paintings. They look almost like carvings. They're up about 20, 25 feet up, and right up near the ceiling. And every one of them depicts a black dragon. Its mouth pointed in towards the middle of the room.
Let's go, because I have a feeling that these dragons spew bile into this room for some reason. I don't know.
Like maybe like into the middle of the room.
Yeah. Let's go.
All
I'm
around,
just gonna-
yeah.
Cut my way across here.
Okay. Easy enough for you guys to slowly make your way through.
So, what kind of goo is that on the passageway?
It's the same sort of blue-green. It doesn't look like the same
Okay.
stuff that you saw in this room.
Okay, so I'll hop across the gap, keeping my eye out for traps.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. Looks good.
It's fine, guys. Let's keep going.
Okay, sounds good.
What in the world is that kind of goo?
So Devaney, as you start walking through, roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's that kind of goo.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Deeper and deeper you push yourselves. We wait for you in the dark. One day, me and my kind will take over your world. And
What
then
is
there
your
will be
kind?
nothing left.
And as soon as you heard it start, Devaney, it fades back.
You know, if you were lacking of visitors before, you'd think you would make the whole place more inviting. I guess what am I seeing in front of me?
So as you enter this room, you see a 4-foot tall, 7-foot wide iron lectern situated in the center of this rusty iron-plated room.
Ominous.
On top of this strange lectern is a slanted control panel. Looking at it, you can see a gold lever with a star-shaped handle on it, 2 dials in red and blue, and 2 buttons of the same colors. Engravings surround this room. Behind it, showing the control panel, though, in 5 different groups of circles, each with a small crystal embedded in the wall under each one. The crystal configuration labeled 3 glows bright green. 3 6-inch diameter rusty pipes jut from the wall just above the engravings. And now what you are seeing, and of course, give me a
Wait, where'd
second
you
to
go?
grab
Where'd you
this.
go?
I just went into the room.
Okay, me too.
I now have to give you guys something.
Oh, puzzle. Puzzle time. Do we see that giant skull on top by any chance? That's a
Giants.
little-
Huh?
Yeah, like on the lectern
Isn't
in
that
the
the giant
center.
skull?
Oh. Oh, hold
Yeah,
on.
it does look like a skull.
Hold your heads there, peoples.
Oh.
I just had the bloody thing. So what you're literally seeing
fear?
This.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness gracious.
that's cool. And one of these is glowing green. One of these.
the
Yeah. So
fire
as you
is
as you look at the images,
Yeah, I see it now.
yeah, you'll see underneath configuration 3 is currently glowing green.
Okay, so we have to somehow match this panel in front of us with that configuration.
No, I think
No,
each
I think
panel
this-
is different. Each number is different.
This panel looks like it rotates the gears.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because those gears on the wall look kind of like the
Yeah,
hexagons we
okay.
just walked through.
Yeah.
We only went through 2 of them.
So 3 is that's the way they're currently laid
Well,
out.
if you see in the picture of 3, there are no openings to nothing. So the left one leads to the right one, the center one, I mean, with the gap, and the right one has the top and the bottom left. I mean, the bottom right. They both lead to something. So if you look at 4 on the left, see that top piece? It doesn't lead to anything. So it's incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we need to change the gears to make them all complete something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it depends where we need to go. Because remember where we are with all the traps. It might not be that simple.
Oh, I thought we were just completing this puzzle on the wall.
It's this.
Well, I think this is connected to what we just walked through, right?
Yeah, I think this is the current layout of the gears that we
Oh.
just walked through. And
Oh.
so 3 is the setup it is now, and
Okay.
the pathways with like the yellow
Oh,
stars. They
so
look
now we
like
gotta go turn them so we go in different directions?
yeah, and then we could
Oh.
navigate to different
Different
locations that way.
areas.
Okay.
So what
No,
about... Because we
they
didn't
all-
make it to the third one. And the third one looks like it's always going to be a... Well, they all look the same, actually.
Yeah, they actually do all look identical.
So maybe we can't tell
No,
what
like
they're
4
going to turn.
has 2 openings in the left.
Oh,
They're all different, see?
like in the actual pentagon shape.
Yes,
It's
They're
hard to see,
openings.
but it
that's what I mean.
okay.
That we
But
have to
on
turn them to
some-
different configurations so they open up to different areas.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
does anyone
which
have
one?
any input on where they want to go?
Well, we haven't made it to the, I guess the rightmost one. Because I think we just walked through... Because if we're in the leftmost one, we walk through the middle one
To get to where we are
to
now.
get to where we are now. So if we want to go to the rightmost one, we need to rotate something.
Okay. I'm down with that. Just start pressing buttons and see what moves.
We also did not go north from the center one.
So that would be number 1. Or number 2.
Well, it could be any of them.
No, I'm talking about open pentagons. Number 1 and number 2 have north openings in the middle.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but they do.
Yeah, it is really hard to see.
So I don't. Are we
They
looking
all
at?
look to the same to me.
No, they have openings in the middle to the north.
So are we looking
Oh yeah, I can see
at
that
the
now.
openings or like what looks to be like the yellow stars? Because they're
It's-
not. They're not.
It's the
lit-
actual pentagons drawn inside the gear.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the stars, it looks like it's only illuminated on 1, 2,
And 4.
and
Oh,
4,
everybody
maybe
but 3.
5. Yeah, so I guess every one but the one we're currently on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means if we turn it, that we can't get out of here?
No, we just need to turn it to make sure that one of them, maybe 5, because 5 is has the star and the opening.
Yeah, but then it looks like the opening doesn't end up anywhere.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because we're in the leftmost one, right now, correct?
The star, you mean?
We're in number 3.
Of
This-
of the 3 like gears, so to speak.
Well, we're in a room off of one of them.
Yeah.
Which one though? Is it?
Well, assuming because the light's underneath 3.
So
That's
we're-
the one
I know
we're-
that. I just meant which pentagon are we in?
The leftmost one,
Okay,
I believe.
that's what we're saying.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, from how we just navigated
Which
through.
direction we walked in, if this is laid out the same way that we walked.
Yeah.
Which means we are actually going to split up if we want to navigate. And I don't like that at all.
No.
Especially if, something happens. I'm just thinking about all those pockmarks on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
If something happens when we rotate it.
What's the slime coming from the pipes? Is that the blue-green stuff?
It does appear to be, yes.
Oh. Okay.
not the toxic gray one.
Oh, it seems to be the same sort of stuff you've seen in various different points in here.
Okay. Alright, so I'm down with anything. Someone just
Well,
configure and point me in the right direction.
I'm looking here. The only one to go directly north from the center one is 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then how do we get to the 1 is also opening it up to the third one.
Let's try it 1 then.
Okay, let's try 1 with everybody here. And then if we rotate it back to 3, we can see what has changed if anything changed in the one that we just left.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or any of them, really. So, do we know how to change it?
Now
Or
it's called pressing buttons and hoping for the best.
So the lower, bigger ones, are they like dials? They look more like
Yes.
dials. Okay.
So, as you're looking at it, there are 2 dials on the lower section.
Okay.
A blue one and a red one. They're currently pointed up. They both turn one way or the other. There are 2 buttons, matching colors. And then you have the star-shaped lever.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Oops. Wait, hold
so
on.
the
Star-shaped lever.
so the star-shaped lever will probably make changes to the stars we see on the outside of the pentagon.
Yup.
And if we want to rotate the pentagons, I guess we would have to rotate one of the dials and then click
gears.
the matching button.
The gears, they would, you rotate
Right.
one of them, you rotate the rest of them.
So if we're at 3 and we want configuration 1, did we say?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we try to rotate one of the dials to the left and
Okay.
click the corresponding button.
Okay.
Sure.
You sure 5's not the only one we can do because it's the star to the entryway?
Well, I was thinking if we want to get to the third one that we haven't visited yet, and north in the center one, number 1 is the only one that gives us both at the same time.
If we can get to 2 from there because there's no opening into.
Well, I'm just thinking, let's try 1,
Okay.
and then I don't know if something's gonna happen in the pentagons when we do it.
Okay.
Right,
We'll
those
just try it.
pockmarks.
Yeah, and then maybe we could get a better idea of what they do once we.
Okay.
And yeah, check it out once we're all here and relatively safe.
Okay. I'm
so
gonna.
I will turn the blue dial once to the left and then click the blue button after that.
Okay. So as you turn the dial once to the left, immediately you watch as the green light jumps from underneath configuration 3 over to configuration 2.
Okay.
As you press the blue button, you start to hear a hideous grinding noise coming from behind you.
Oh.
I'm turning around.
As you turn
Yeah.
and find. Where? Oh, where did
This must be the hardest thing to keep track of, Matthew.
Yeah, especially when you grab the map and it doesn't have the other piece beneath it. Immediately as you turn and look down the hallway, you see and we'll just do that. The room is now cut off and you cannot see into the first room.
Okay.
Okay.
As you have turned the rooms, and it doesn't appear that room number 1 has an entranceway from where you are. There's no entrance from where you are into room 1.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
if
'cause
the
that-
green
it was-
light's under number 2 now.
Yeah, that's what I suspected because it was only one turn to the left. So, and it stayed at 2? It didn't, like, go back to 3?
Nope, the light's now lit up under 2.
Okay, so one more click to the left should get it under 1. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
but we can't leave then.
Well, we could always...
Well, we're doing it to 1 and then returning it back to see if the rooms have changed inside, or
Oh, okay.
there'll be char as a fireball goes off or something when somebody's inside the room.
Okay.
So did we want to go left again towards 1 or back to 3?
Well, I don't know. The blue button only looks like it goes over one way.
Well, no,
So if we...
there's a switch that you can rotate each way. So the blue you can go left or you can go right, and there's a blue button. There's also a red one and a red button.
Ooh, what does the wand do? It looks like it changes the levels. 'Cause
It'll...
right now it's on the center level.
Yeah, it has something to do with the stars on the outside of the pentagons. Because I'm
Yeah.
assuming...
I'm gonna pull the lever.
So is that like where we... Are we in... Is that... Are those stars like rooms? Is that what we're in right now?
Yeah,
possibly?
we're in the star room.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
yeah. Try pulling it.
I'm gonna pull the lever.
Okay. So let me grab this again.
How hard is this to run? This looks ridiculous.
So, as you reach up and grab hold of the golden lever, and it seems like it's got 2 positions. Currently, it's up, and you can pull it down.
Okay. I didn't know if it went up again. Never mind. I'll pull it down.
Okay. So, as you pull it down, immediately in front of you,
Oh.
the tubes
Oh.
that seem to have that bluish green slime
Okay.
start spewing it out.
Oh, crap.
Push it back, Solana.
Oh, that's not good.
As you pull it down and try to push it back up,
Mm-hmm.
nothing's given. It seems to be stuck.
Push it harder.
I tried. Okay, now we have a time.
If you're not strong enough, I'll do it.
Okay, you do it.
Let's see, as Solaren, you seem to be closest at the moment. Roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
Okay. As the room is starting to get coated on the ground, Solaren, you notice that this green slime is pulling up over your feet. And immediately in your mind you hear, "Oh wow, you're back. Did you guys find what you were looking for?"
Not now. I don't have
Not
time for you.
yet. We're still
yet.
looking.
We're still looking for.
Oh. I didn't expect you guys to reach out to me then.
Oh, well, I didn't know we
How
were
did we
reaching
reach out to you? I didn't even know we did.
Stop talking and put it back. Put the lever back.
We can't
Put the
roll up.
lever back. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we're in a room right now with a lever, and we're trying to finagle it a little. So, we're just having some trouble with some buttons. But it's
Oh.
nice to speak to you again. Thank you for being there
Okay.
for us.
Bye.
Bye.
As
Tiffany,
the slime
push
is
the-
now starting to drift down into the hallway behind you. You notice
yeah,
it seems to
Solana-
be covering the floor at about an inch every 6 or 7 seconds.
Okay, so we have to make this.
If
so we can get
Solana
out.
can't force it back, Devaney's gonna try.
Let's get it to
Okay.
5 so we can get out of here.
So, as you reach up and you grab it, it doesn't seem to be moving.
I'm gonna like wrench on it with all my strength.
Alrighty then, go ahead and make an athletics check.
You're gonna break in, and I'm gonna push the dial over to 5.
Which dial?
The red dial over 1, 2, 3, and press
Okay.
the red button.
Immediately as you turn the red dial,
Yeah.
and here. Really, again? So soon?
Sorry. Oh, I'm
And then
so
immediately
sorry.
upon hitting the red button,
Yeah.
Para, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Cool.
This is the worst puzzle ever. Good job.
Oh.
Okay, pick a direction. In, or room, or hallway.
Hallway.
Okay, as you watch as Para dives backwards as a massive 6-inch thick iron wall slams onto the ground in front of you.
I made the wrong decision. Maybe the right one though. I don't know.
Don't miss Gisa.
And
Yeah.
I can't.
Para, as you immediately dive backwards as this thing slams into the ground, you stand up and notice the slime isn't pouring into the room with you anymore. But as you turn back, there's no exit behind you, and there is now a massive iron wall in front of you. Devaney, as
Cool.
you watch, as you're starting to wrench on this, you watch Solana slam her hand down on the red button. And as you finally wrench and rip this lever out of the console completely,
Whoops.
the slime slowly stops filling the room. You've got a good, 3 or 4 inch layer of this stuff on the entire floor right now. It's a little slippery, doesn't smell the most pleasant in here. And as you turn
Well-
back and look, and your exit is now sealed off.
All right. Well, at least we're not gonna drown in goo.
All right. I relinquish control. Solarian, you were doing good, buddy. You get us to 5.
Sure.
Is it still under 2?
Try again.
The light.
Yep, it's still, the light is still under 2.
Okay.
Okay, so it seems to be the blue dial
Yeah.
that changes that,
Duh.
and the star lever has now been broken. So
That's okay.
I guess I'll click the dial one more time to the left, get it underneath 1, and click the blue button after that.
And you watch as once again, Paddle, you hear this much louder as you are right there, but you watch as these gears start grinding and turning. And again, for those of you who can see in the control room, you now have a green light under the number 1.
All right. Get it to 5.
And still no,
Door.
still the door is still barred with the.
That sheet of iron is dropped. It doesn't seem to be
then.
anything directly attached to the gears.
Okay.
Okay, so we got to beat up a sheet of iron. Great.
I'm gonna go over and sort of pound on the door to see if I get a pound back on the other side.
Go ahead and we'll say just make an athletics check. Because you're
Okay.
trying to knock through this is literally a
Well,
6-inch solid
I'm not
iron wall.
Trying to break through it. I'm just trying to make sure that
Right, I just
paddle is
want to
on
see
the
how
other
hard you're
side.
hitting this to see if she can even hear it. You roll a 2 and you're like,
Oh.
24.
oh yeah, Para, you immediately start hearing someone banging on the other side trying to get your attention.
Okay, maybe. He's gonna like bang back with the hook hand that he has because
Okay.
he's like scared of like hurting his actual hand.
and, and immediately you hear, Devna, you hear the sound of metal on metal. So you hear that little like ting, ting, ting. You're definitely getting some
Okay.
sort of response.
He's still alive. I guess I don't think you'd be able to hear us.
You
think we
could
should turn
try,
the-
it's just very difficult.
Yeah.
Do you think we should turn the red lever to see if it goes up?
We could try pushing the red button again.
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Or it just might stay down forever, or
Okay.
it might go up after a while, like a day
Okay.
or two,
Okay.
So you're pushing it again?
or,
Yeah.
you know, something
I guess.
else terrible might happen.
Click, click, click. Doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Oh, good. Alright. Now what are we going to do?
Well,
I know! We can check for secret doors!
yeah.
Oh my god.
Ba-dum-bum.
That is what
Certainly
Devonay is
try.
gonna do!
Oh, okay.
I
Go
think
ahead and
you
make
should
an
move it
investigation check.
to 5.
Alright.
I don't know why we're on 1 when I told you to put 5.
Well, 1 and
We were
5
gonna
both
go to
looked
1.
like they had, so that's why I wanted to try 1 first.
No, 1 doesn't look like it goes to the star.
We're not trying to get to the star.
as-
Yeah, to the center to get to the right one.
Yeah, but we're at least trying to get out of this room.
We can't.
Yeah, as
Until we
you're
get to
looking around,
5.
Devonay, there are no secret doors that you can find.
Oh man, no secret. Oh, there's always a secret.
Alright, I will click the blue dial 4 times to the right, and now click the blue button.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're setting it over at 5 now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here.
Why 5?
Okay.
Because at
Um,
least we can get out of here.
All
We
of a
can't
sudden,
get out of here.
Para, once more, you hear the wheels starting to grind behind you, and after a couple of moments, as you're watching a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you can now see into room 1,
See, that's
into
what I
that
want.
first circular room again, or pentagonal room.
Ooh,
I was
okay.
always hoping that we would not leave paddle in the hallway. You know, without any
It's
air.
probably the safest spot for paddle at the moment.
Well, without any air, paddle would die. So, you know, sheet of metal, rock. Small hallway. Small paddle, but still.
We're just gonna have to wait and see
Hold on, wait a
what
minute, let me-
happens.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
I
so
still
you can
think we
see
should
through into that other room. But
set it back to 1 and you know, do that way. Now that we know how this
Well,
stuff
someone
works.
has to stay here then.
We can't leave anyway. But I was thinking set it to 1 and then set it back to 3 so we can go back into the leftmost and center to see if, like, I don't know, more acid ate away at the thing. And, you know, and if it looks okay, then somebody can stay here and control stuff
and have
and
somebody.
move it to 1 so you guys get to the center north and over to the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, we might have to split up, even though.
Oh no. I'm not good with the board. I should not be allowed to touch the board anymore. I nominate me not going near the board and me going into the sections.
Well, we can't do anything until we can get out of here, and I knock on the
Yeah, we
iron
should probably
door
figure
that
that
came
out. Do you think we should turn the red dial again or something?
No, well, red dial.
Well, I'm still not sure exactly what the red dial does.
And if
Oh,
we're
no, the
not
red
sure,
dial put
maybe
it
we
down.
should just leave it
I
alone.
think the red dial should put it back up too.
No,
do you wanna
if we're not
go-
sure what it does, we should just leave it alone.
So you want to go back to 1 and then to 3, just to like reset, basically?
Well, once we can move, yeah. But we're stuck in here, so it's no point doing anything.
Right.
Right, but if we reset, hopefully.
I would say move it to 1, and then move it back to 3 so we can leave.
Yeah, so
and
the path
see
that we
what-
came in through should be opened up again.
Yeah, and see what changes have happened, and if it looks all good, then we can come back in here, except
And
whoever's going to go exploring, and the person
leave them
here can move it to
outside.
1.
Okay.
And then you guys can get to wherever you're going. Except, wherever you find, like, we don't have any way of
Are you
really
sure we're
communicating.
star and not table?
Say to what?
Doesn't that look like a table, not a star?
We went through the star doorway to get to the room where
Yeah, I
we're
think-
in now.
Yeah, I think those are like rooms adjacent to the.
Okay, so
I think
we are
they're
star.
just, yeah, maybe just to mark which doorway you went out of.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, but the thing is, we don't really have any way of communicating.
That's true.
I can do something useful.
Tiffany now remembers the sending stone that she left. That she has one half of. Although those can only, I know they can only be used once a day, so it wouldn't really help, but.
I have nothing that would help.
So, Para, while they're all doing this, what would you be doing as you now have access to the first pentagonal room?
I guess I would kind of like be peeking in to see if anything did change.
What you notice is that the orientation of the room has changed, and I apologize for some reason I can't. It's not letting me spin this to put it in the right spot. The other exit is now up here.
Okay.
Seems to just open up into the air by the water.
Okay. Is anything different, like, about the floor?
Nope. You can see the pool of slime looks like it shifted a little bit, probably from the room being spun a couple of times. But you don't. It doesn't look like it's any more. It's just a little more spread out.
Cool. I'm super hesitant about going into the actual room. Especially if the passageway out just leads to open air.
Yeah, there's no room there. Okay.
Tiffany starts shoveling with sort of her feet goo and makes sort of a corner without goo. Sort of crouches down in the corner, just waiting.
I don't know. I feel like I would wait because I don't.
Okay.
Ooh.
So what?
I'm gonna turn the dial, the red dial. Which way did I turn it?
Solana, what if paddles in between the two rooms?
This can only make it go up. Don't worry.
Solana, what if paddle gets cut in half?
I don't want to get cut in half.
So you're turning the red dial again?
Yeah, I forgot which way I turned it before though.
Okay, so you're just turning it the opposite way?
Yeah.
Okay. Still playing around. It gets so lonely here, and yet you're still standing.
Maybe you should help
Looking.
us get out of here.
I'm sitting.
No, it serves me just as well if you perish in that room alone as if you were to find your way out and meet your end at the end of my flabby tentacles.
Wait, what?
Ew.
And all of a sudden, that voice pulls back from your mind again.
That voice, the evil voice, said it had tentacles too.
A lot of things have tentacles. Say, now that we have time, would you like to know what happened when I tried to Misty Step?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Well, I Misty Step and I ended up in a rather square room with a lot of dead bodies
Oh.
and no doors or windows or
Oh.
secret doors. I checked.
Eh,
And there was a face with a dark orb, and there was 2 levers, one in each nostril, and then there was a monster with tentacles, and it tried to eat me.
Do you have PTSD? That sounds
And
horrible.
I almost died, and I pulled
Yeah.
a lever, and I ended up back in front of that other face, right
Oh,
by the
yeah.
entrance.
Well, I'm
And
glad.
and it died. Well, like, I guess there was traps in that hallway. I heard some darts going back and forth, and it dropped me, and I just went back to where you guys were.
I go over and I hug Devin.
That is why you should not Misty Step. It teleports you to a
fighting
room
you.
full of dead bodies.
Okay. I will
You were-
remember this.
You weren't even gone more than a minute, as far as we could
Yeah.
tell.
Well, it all happened very quickly.
Okay, so what should we do about getting out of here and getting Paddle?
Just
So,
we can't do anything. Also, I would like to identify the ring that I've stuck on my thumb.
Okay, are you casting Identify, or?
I will do it as a ritual since we seem to have some time.
Oh, okay. So, Solana, what would you guys be doing over the next 10 minutes or so?
Pulling
so
them.
we decided that we want to turn it to 1 and then to 3.
I think we should just turn it into 3.
Don't turn
We
it
can-
to 1 and 3 until we can get out and check, because effects might fade over time.
True.
Okay.
Also, I don't know where Paddle is, and it might be hopping between when we do it, and I don't want him to get cut in half.
Okay.
So wait, so
I
we're
mean,
not.
how would
touching
we?
it
How would
now.
we ever know when it is safe, though?
Yeah.
If the door opens,
On its own.
The
well,
door's not gonna open on its own.
it might.
Try
Like,
to
in a
try
day
to
or
knock.
two.
Let's try to knock again, and
Let's
maybe
try
Paddle
to go
will
to 3.
come back to the. We'll hear the knocking, and
But we can't go anywhere until that solid door opens.
I want to talk to Glyrol. How do we talk to Glyrol? Do we know how?
So far you heard from him once when you,
Touch
see
the
here.
blue button, I think.
when you, turned the red dial.
Oh,
oh, okay. So, which direction did you turn it the first time?
I don't remember.
Well,
The opposite.
turn the
would
red
say-
dial the opposite direction
No,
of
I
the
did.
most
and we
recent
got
turn.
the evil dude. So
No,
we
but
wanna
because
turn
that
it the
was
same
that
direction.
was opposite of your first.
So the first time we want to do it the same as the first time. So I'm gonna turn the red dial, in the direction I did the first time.
Okay, roll a
Yeah, so
D100.
same as
Okay.
because I don't remember which way you turned it either.
This is starting to get old.
I know. So why don't you just help us?
Good.
It's just...
I'm just gonna keep bugging you.
You can bother as much as you'd like to. It's... I work with Gora, not with you. If...
Is that G?
I'm sorry?
Is that G? Who he said?
No, he said Gora.
Different.
Okay, different Gora. Okay.
Yeah. Different G name.
Different G. Okay, I got confused. Okay. Who's Gora?
Well, certainly, if you're in the tomb, you must have met Gora. He manages the entire thing.
Oh.
And who might you be, so inquisitive and invading of my lair?
My name's Solana.
And what brings you down into this depth?
To find Soulmonger.
So happy.
So you come seeking a Sirak and the Soulmonger.
Yes.
I suppose
Looks up. Oh, that's
5
nice.
more corpses won't make much of a difference,
Thank you.
considering you've gotten yourself trapped in a room with no exit.
Yes, I see this now. Once I get out of here, I'm gonna, like, you know, punch you in the goo. But I don't know how to do that. But,
Well, when you get out of there, you are welcome to try.
thank you.
I will be waiting here in the dark
You keep doing that.
for you, Solana.
You
Oh.
too.
What?
Tentacle thing.
And as you start to feel the voice pull back from your mind,
I have your name now.
Yeah, about that. I don't
Good.
know why I just say that.
Y'all stop rolling that to talk to him.
I can't lie.
Devine now knows who a Sirak is, though. Didn't know that before.
Stupid and can't lie. This is dumb. Gotta tell the truth.
So, over the next, been
Screams.
about 10 minutes at this point as Solana's been having this conversation. Paddle, what would you be doing during this time? You're not really hearing much from the other side of the iron door at the moment. You can hear, it sounds almost like Solana's talking to somebody. But it's really almost impossible to make anything out through that thick iron door. And it's been almost better part of 10 minutes at this point without hearing much.
Is the door airproof? Waterproof?
Say who?
Is the door like completely floor to ceiling?
Looks to be.
Oh.
You're not sure if there's a little gap or anything at the top of it. It's 20 feet up in the air, but...
I will turn into a wolf spider and go climb up top.
Oh, okay, we'll jump over to that in a sec. So what would
Okay.
you be doing, Paddle?
Well, if I'm hearing that, like, Solana's talking, then, and not freaking out talking, then, I'm gonna venture into here a little bit and see if anything. You said that
Yeah,
even though it's like not reflected on here.
the other exit is actually up here. Probably I'm gonna have to cut these out for next time is there.
I shouldn't do that.
Did the paintings or carvings change at all, or they're
Nope,
just still
literally they're just rotated.
okay?
The points of the room are aimed, basically the pointed areas are aimed in the same configuration. It's just one of the doors now is now up over here. So it's literally, it's like you turned this thing basically 2 clicks to the right. So this point down here is now actually up here.
Okay.
And the 2 doors are one pointing to the hallway you were just in and one pointing out to the right into the water.
Okay.
So as you're poking around in there, Devonay, as you come to learn, the ring that you stuck on your thumb is a ring of protection.
Ooh!
Ooh. That's fancy.
I'm jelly.
Alright.
I need to, like...
As you're looking out, you see the same thing as you saw before, Paddle. Sort of murky, slime-covered water, some phosphorescent lights slowly moving a little bit within the water.
Okay.
Is this stone?
Yep.
Alright,
Oh,
tomorrow
wait,
I will...
hold on. I forgot where you are. I actually think the walls in there are rusted iron. Let me just double check now. That I said
Ah,
yes.
of course. They couldn't do stone shape tomorrow.
Yep, rusty iron plated room.
Darn it.
And as Devaney figures out what the ring is, she's going to stand up and take off another of her rings. She seems to be collecting a lot of them. And say, hey, Solana,
Yes.
before you wild shape
Mhm.
or turn in, I'm not really using this ring here. And she'll take off the ring of the ram and hold it out to Solana and say, well, I know because Mela left this.
Aw.
Thought I would offer it to you first if you want it. Pushes
you so
things
much.
away or tries to break things.
Should we break the door?
I don't think it will work on the door, but
Okay.
if you want it, you can have it, and if you
Thank
don't, you can
Thank
give
you
it
so
to
much
somebody
for-
else. But I'm not really using it, so
Okay. The ram?
Ring of the Ram.
Okay. I'll look at it.
You now have something in your journal describing it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So with that, anything else you guys are trying? It's been a better part of about 20 minutes now.
I am going to bang on the iron door again with the heel of my dagger to try and hopefully draw Paddle's attention.
Okay,
Back
Paddle, go ahead
closer.
and make a perception check.
Okay.
Push 5 feet away.
Oh,
Two.
I
You
noticed
hear
the
off in the
hacky.
distance coming back from where you were, very, very, very softly off in the distance, you sort of hear a...
Okay, I guess.
Do we hear that?
You heard
Yes.
that as well. It was Slayer knocking on the metal.
Oh,
You guys are in the room with him.
I didn't hear that part. I was too busy looking at
Okay.
stuff
He's gonna
that I should
he's
know.
gonna knock back on the wall with his hook.
Can you hear me? I try to shout through the door. Not really.
You can make something out, Paddle. It sounds like he's saying here. He's yelling through 6 inches of iron, so you're getting little bits and pieces, but...
Yeah, I'm here.
Stay close.
No. But if I want to use the ring of the ram, then don't stay close.
Solana, I don't think it's going to work on the door.
Okay.
So,
Can I do this
Solana,
with
that's your intent?
No, because she said it wasn't gonna work on the door.
Devaney's experience with it, she doesn't think it would, but if Solana wants to try, I mean...
No, I'm trying to see if I have anything that could do anything to that stupid door. Paddle left again.
Oh.
Paddle came back again. Wait, what if I...
Not good.
What if I, find, a crack in the door and I just, create a bunch of plants there? What if I turn into a gaseous form and go through the door? I can't through the door, it's killing me.
Solana, just be patient.
I'm claustrophobic.
At this point, Solaren, he decides, I'll click it the blue dial 4 times to the left, back to 1, and click the blue button.
Oh, okay. So, Paddle, as you've heard this tapping to draw you back to the door, And a couple of seconds later, all of a sudden behind you, you start hearing that same grinding sound again. And now, once more, as the grinding continues, eventually you lose visibility of the other room, as it now there is just a pointed wall at the end of that hallway.
All right.
And as our party has trapped Paddle back in this 15, maybe 20-foot corridor, that's where we're going to call it into tonight's session. Give our party some time to figure out
Think.
what they're trying to do here. We will be back next week. Don't forget, we have our new stream, Tabletop Legends, with DM Matt. For those of you who have been around here for a while, known as Tuala.
Voila.
Great group of people, lucky enough to be doing this live at a table with his players. So gets into some interesting shenanigans. It was a lot of fun last week. Looking forward to tomorrow's. Then I think the rest of our stream is on as normal for this week. I call them the Wednesday crew because I'm not sure what they're running this week. If it's Wish, Brood, if it's something different, but they're crazy. Check them out. They're always a lot of fun. I do not believe there is a Delve and Dash this week, but I think Mystic Hour is still on.
I think so too.
So, with that being said, when everyone's looking at this giant, threatening device, and there's a massive, big red button that must never ever be touched,
Yeah.
when you watch your druid slap it, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus for making that dex save. Just dive into the room with the party so you're not stuck in this 15-foot corridor.
Yeah.
With that, we will see you guys next time.
Sorry.